Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games, where we shenanigan sob and smooch our way through tabletop role-playing games, and sometimes scream our way through horror video games. I am Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. It is episode 2 of Turntable Good Society. We are ready for more Regency romance and scandal. Maybe a ball. I think a ball might be happening today. More blackmail from pesky, meddling
blackmail
people.
Listen, is it blackmail if it's just telling the truth?
Yes.
Blackmail is all about honesty.
Right. Yes, of course. Before we go around and meet everyone, we have a few channel shout-outs to do. First of all, we want to thank our sponsor, starting with Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. We're part of their Spotlight program, which highlights indie TTRPG creators all across the interwebs. That's right. We have also been affiliates with Dice Envy and Grinding Coffee Co., two awesome companies. If you like your soaked bean juice or your click-clacky math rocks, you know, you probably like one of those if you are here with us. So we have some affiliate links and discount codes. Yes, that. We also have a tip jar if you want to tip. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, that comes through bits or through the Streamlabs tip jar. Anything that comes in goes to supporting new shows like this, maintaining ones like Masks of Nyarlathotep, which is coming back at the end of this month, and of course compensating our lovely cast. What else? We here at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, XN and O cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings because while the characters may be put through hell or public humiliation, the players, like me, are here to have fun. And the players are our priority always, so we're going to go around and talk to them. I guess because I'm already talking, I'm going to keep talking. I am Lauren, I'm That Salty Ginger over on Twitter. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, Miss Charity Foxgrove, who's embroiled in a sticky web of entanglements. Kiana, would you like to talk now?
Sure.
Good.
I can talk.
Yay.
Hi, everyone. I am Tiana. I'm the sweet of the channel. My pronouns are she and they, but today I am playing Theodosia Lee, whose pronouns are also she and they. She is the black sheep of the family, the meddler, just here to vibe and bring bad vibes to other people, apparently.
Wow.
That's all they're here for.
At least you know who you are.
Listen. I am here to meddle and be a nuisance, and nothing can stop me except for the consequences of my own actions. So,
yeah. Perfect. Cole is not with us this week. They are away doing fun things in the real world or whatever. So we're going to go over. Yes, it doesn't sound real. So we're going to go over to Drac. Hi, Drac.
Hi, I'm Draconics, or Drac for short. I'm trying out he, they pronouns. And today I'm playing Nnamdi Abara, who is a ex-military gentleman who is trying to avenge the death of his father, while also apparently getting caught up in this web of entanglement. So it's going to be very exciting to see how he navigates that once he finds out he's in it. I don't think he doesn't know yet.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, also I'm part of Friends Hero Dice, which is the other TTRPG channel. I'm teaming up with So Sweet for this turntable. So I'm just stoked to be playing. Honestly, I watched Pride and Prejudice so many times. I watched it 4 times today. After I messaged all of you, I was literally in the middle of watching it again. Okay. I watched it at first. I was like, okay, I need to watch this as research. And that's I watched. I was like, wow, I actually really like it. This is really good. So after that, I just kept watching it over and over again. It was great. I'm loving it. I'm watching Sense and Sensibilities next. That's gonna be fun.
The Emma Thompson, Kate Winslet one.
I think so. I don't know.
That's
I think it's
good.
1995.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the one.
That's
Yeah.
really good. It's really, you're gonna love it. It's so good. Awesome. And let's go over to our very special guest, Vanna.
Hi, hello, it's me. I'm going to be your GM today. My name is Vanna. I stream full-time on Twitch. I also do hosting and voiceover and obviously some tabletop RPG stuff. And this is one of my favorite systems, and I feel like we got a lot ramped up in episode 1, so I'm stoked for episode 2. And I will say, I feel like you should read the book, Jack, because I hated Darcy in the movie.
Oh yeah, so did I.
But I appreciated him his arc much more in the book.
Okay.
I just finished that a couple days ago, so I don't know. I just thought he was irredeemable in the film, but I understood his arc more when reading it. So.
Some spicy Austin opinions today.
Spicy.
I agree.
Am I wrong?
Mr. Darcy was really. I didn't like him.
I think when you realize that he is actually just so awkward.
He's just shy.
Yeah. It makes
He's a
me
man who doesn't know how to
communicated.
talk at any given point. With so much, he has a ball of social anxiety, which just comes out all the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like in the book they do a better job of being him recognizing his errors. I just think in the movie I did not get that sense at all. But in the book, through their conversations and their letters to each other, I feel like it's much more clear. He's like, I fucked up. I was an asshole, you know?
Totally.
And I feel like owning that is so important as far as if I find you redeemable or not. So I hate him in the movie, but I appreciate him a lot more in the novel. So just my hot take of the day.
I'll read the books then.
Listen, I'll read them to you.
I mean, I wouldn't say
Discord
no to
call
that.
tonight. That's me.
Awesome. So I think I've got our music pumping now. Without any further ado, I think we're gonna get into Good Society.
Let me just press send on this tweet. Me always last minute posting
Always.
for social media.
You're just saving the best for last. It's fine.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Yes.
I mean, if you just play it off like it is, nobody has to know otherwise.
Well, good thing I said out loud. Okay, I've done it. All right.
Done it.
Well, I think what I would like to do first is I would like to review with all of you what you remember from the previous chapter. So does anyone want to give me a recap
Oh boy.
of chapter 1 of our very own Jane Austen novel?
Yes. I regret volunteering.
I could see that split second, immediately after saying
All
it.
right. So in chapter 1, we were at the wedding of the beekeeper and what is she?
Abigail.
Gardner.
Abigail. Yes, that
Abigail and Felicity.
Felicity.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very lovely service. We were all in attendance. Astor was part of the wedding party. But my character, Charity Foxgrove, the local heiress, arrived late, and it was majorly embarrassing to everyone else but her. The rest of the wedding went off without a hitch, fortunately. And Charity was able to sneak some time, just a moment with Astor, secret fiance. Then, as we were all promenading out, this is all going to be from my perspective. Charity and Namdi reconnected, and were making kind of a playful bet about who was going to be married next. Charity chose the younger Lee sister, the better Lee sibling, in case anybody's wondering. And Namdi chose Kevin, the owner of the tea shop. And then, very dramatic moment when Pandolf arrived. Pandolf being a consummate gambler and also, unbeknownst to, I think, Charity, but known to apparently everyone else, also the murderer of Namdi's father.
No big deal.
At the very least, everyone knows that he's been accused by
Right.
Namdi. Yeah.
And I think we kind of implied last episode that he might be the murderer of your father too.
Oh, shit.
Charity.
That's
Yeah, I
right,
remember
because
that.
he is making
romancing
moves
your
on
mother,
my mom,
yeah.
Hilda.
Or making love, as it's called in Jane Austen.
Yes, making love.
It means something different back then, okay?
And Theodosia was scheming very rudely all over the place.
Got chewed out by Estelle at the wedding.
Right
for
away. Just
not
straight
doing
for
anything.
straight for the throat. Oh, what else? I'm sure there was something. That seems like chapter
Anyone
1.
else can pop in.
Yes,
Yeah.
please help.
What do y'all remember? This is mostly just so I can gauge which parts stuck in your brain the most, so we can focus on those. So
Yeah.
it's not a test or something. It's just
So we had the wedding.
We're getting graded
The
off
wedding
this.
was messy.
Yeah. Then I remember very specifically playing Kevin. And, I seem like Kevin has a thing for, I believe it's not Beard. Is it Beatrice?
Beatrice.
Yes, it is Beatrice. Yeah. So Kevin and Beatrice, which is very funny since that's literally who Charity and Namdi both voted on, bet on who's gonna get married next. But they have a thing going on. Kevin confided in a story very nervously, and then soon afterwards, I believe it was Charity and Theodosia came to his store, his tea shop. I think we called it the tea party.
Party.
Yeah. And while after serving them their tea, he overheard them speaking of some very personal business that he doesn't care to spread. But for him, what he picked up on specifically was that Theodosia's father may be going back to Spain, I believe, because there seems to be whispers of war brewing between England and Spain.
Did you pick up on anything else that they talked about?
I think he did.
I don't think he did.
Okay.
I think he was like, once he heard the name like Lee, he was like, oh, I know Lee.
Hey.
And started listening. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Theodosia was having a very fun conversation with Charity, where Charity, there were some veiled barbed words that was thrown around between the two of them, super casually.
It's all very one-sided, if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
the thing is, Theodosia
I'm
is
pretty
just
sure
jealous.
you threatened to kill her dad.
Did not.
It came across like you did,
I
like
know
really
it did,
badly.
but I really didn't mean for it to.
I'd be there for you if your dad died for some reason, some strange, mysterious reason.
Oh, I understand what it's like to have a father who is dead.
Yes.
That is
So if
what
you
I
need
said.
anything
That
when
is
your father
all.
dies.
When your father dies, I will be there for you. But Theodosia casually dropped that that Charity had a entanglement with someone who was not her secret fiance.
Which also implies that Theo knows that she has a secret fiance.
Yes.
Did we hash
We-
out why
Yeah,
Theo
we
knows that?
we established that Theo knows that because the reason why Theo and the story are not friends anymore is because she snitched about the secret engagement.
Oh, right.
Uh,
Who did you snitch about it to?
Who did I snitch it I don't think we established that. I told somebody.
Okay. We don't know at this point.
We don't know who.
Yeah.
I told somebody. That
I
will
mean, Pandolf seemed to know, right? Pandolf seemed
Yes,
to.
Pandolf
when
did
we were
seem
best
to
Yes,
know.
that's what it
seemed
was.
to
That's what it
Because
was.
Pandolf
yeah,
picked a story for Pandolf's bet.
Yeah, for Pandolf's bet. Yeah, that's what we kind of decided was that. I'm the reason why Pandolf knows.
Yes.
So yeah,
Got it.
so that's super cash. And afterwards, Theodosia wrote a letter to Namdi, who, you know, the Lee family and the Ibarra family are not on good terms whatsoever. But Theodosia took the risk anyways and was like, "Hey, let's talk. I have some information I would like to share with you."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Nnamdi was reading that while in his smoking room with Anastasia.
Yes. Who was sketching Charity.
Yeah, which is I think Lauren just wants to romance herself.
I know.
I mean, hey, you know, I'm 31. I've been alive for many years. I'll romance myself. I'm worth it.
You gotta love yourself first.
That's
okay.
the thing.
We love it. But he was very hesitant, but with everything going on, I don't think Theodosia really elaborated on what exactly they wanted to reveal.
Mm.
So I honestly think that Nnamdi's under the impression that they're going to tell him admit who murdered his father. So I think that's where he's going. That's the energy that's coming into this.
Yeah, it's literally just like, "Hey, I want to tell you something. I ain't gonna say anything else."
Yeah.
That Theo wrote a letter to Namdi that implied that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like, "I
And-
want to tell you about something," but
Theo wrote
Namdi's gonna interpret that as, "I know."
Yeah.
Theo wrote to, yeah, you're gonna be disappointed.
And
Yeah.
Charity was writing a flirty letter, well, a conflicted flirty letter to Nnamdi, talking about how the Foxgroves are going to throw a ball, and Mortimer, the
Yeah,
Mortimer, who's after me for my family's verdant garden.
Don't say it like that.
God, I'm pretty sure it's against TOS. Oh my god.
He wrote me a very presumptuous letter about how we were going to be engaged soon, and I can't wait to turn him down in front of everyone.
Mortimer wrote to Charity about possible
I forgot about
engagement.
Mortimer.
How could you? He's
How could you?
the best boy.
Boy.
Anything else anyone remembers to throw in there?
A store might have feelings for Kevin
Right. Yeah, there might be some.
because Kevin was asking a store for advice on how to romance Beatrice, but a store was speaking from their heart, really about themselves.
Oh yeah. That's right. I forgot
Yeah,
about
so
that.
there's
Oh
some.
god, both characters I'm playing are just in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
You're in the
there.
weeds.
All right. Anything else?
I'm trying to think if there's any like other rumors and stuff. Like obviously we've got the Pandolf is making moves on the Foxgrove matriarch.
Yeah,
Super
Pandolf
cash.
did write a pretty spicy letter to Charity's mom.
Yeah. And the whole, Spain might be going to war with England. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah, cool. Well, then let's get into it. And thank you everybody for being here. If y'all want to retweet the going live tweet on the Salty Sweet Games Twitter, please do. That always helps. I've got one up as well. And Lauren, you put one up on your Twitter.
Yes. This
We have
episode
so
of
many.
Turntable is brought to you by this hairstyle that is not historically accurate, but pops up in so many period films that you think it was.
And I think the rest of us have very period appropriate.
So
Yeah.
period
haircuts,
appropriate.
So
Yeah.
Do.
I actually remember Mr. Darcy having a high top fade.
I want to watch that version of Pride and Prejudice. So
I would
fucking
love
bad.
that.
Oh my
Have
god!
you ever seen what is it called? It's the Bollywood one. It's a musical.
What?
I've never heard of
I
that.
I think it's
I
called
need
Bride
to.
and Prejudice.
Oh yeah, I was looking for movies. Yeah, I was looking for more Jane Austen movies, and I saw that come up. Okay. I'm
Wait,
gonna-
is it good though?
I
I
loved
watched
it as
it.
a kid. I watched it a
Yeah,
lot
I
as a
wanna see
kid.
that. I want to see that. That's amazing. And let me know if you need to adjust if I need to adjust the music or volume, anything on my end, Lauren.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay, you're good. Okay. Just let me know. All right, let's get into it then. Okay, that's our recap. And of course, with Good Society, a Jane Austen inspired tabletop RPG by Storybrewers. Go check it out. Storybrewers on the socials and the websites and all the things. There are cycles of play, and our first cycle is going to be our novel chapter. So we're going to decide if it's going to be an event chapter, a visitation chapter, or a split chapter. Now, based on our last chapter, we have a couple of things that come up. Like a big event that's been implied is the ball. And then some things that would probably work better as visitations have also been kind of set up to maybe happen. There's a meeting between Theo and Namdi, right? And then there's I think Pandolf wanted to come visit Charity's mom.
Yes.
And then what else? There was a couple other ones. I think Namdi wanted to visit Beatrice. Right?
Namdi or Kevin?
Kevin. Sorry.
Kevin, yeah, Kevin.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Kevin has become your main character on
At this
accident, I
point,
think.
yeah.
A lot more often.
So yeah, I think we got a couple of those. So what is everybody thinking?
I think having one novel phase as visitation would be good to start off with, and then we could do the ball later, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. How's everybody else feel about that?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Makes sense to me considering where we left off last time.
Okay. Yeah. Then let's make it a visitation novel chapter. Who has an idea to start us out? I named a couple.
Theo and Namdi scene.
Out of him. Yeah. I kind of want that as well.
Theo and Namdi scene. Yeah. So where
Yeah.
would y'all? So Theo, you wrote the letter to Namdi, right?
Yeah.
And we're proposing the meetup.
Yep.
So where would you have proposed, or maybe I'm just not remembering where you proposed you meet
I think I don't know if I said anywhere specifically.
Oh, you did. You
I did?
said, sorry, I did make a note of it. You entreated him to meet up with you at the church lake.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Because neutral ground.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
God is
do
watching.
anything to me at a church.
So yeah, you
Me.
suggested a promenade around the like church lake, which we saw before in the wedding scene.
Right, and the lake is large enough that if you were on one side and looking on the other, you can't quite
can't
make out
make.
who's over there. It's big enough for mystery.
It's
what
big
we
enough
say.
for mystery is
Big
what
enough
we
for mystery.
indicated.
Yeah.
Is what we indicated. And I wrote Theo is a whole snitch. So that's perfect.
Listen, I'm just doing my job here. I picked meddler. I'm meddling.
Yes, you
It's
are.
great.
Perfect. So does one of you arrive at the lake before the other?
It'd be really funny if Namdi arrived first.
You know what? Yeah.
Theo was late.
And Namdi
Yeah.
will arrive first. He's
oh,
he's
and
an ex-military man. He's always on time.
He's timely.
Yeah.
Sorry, the other thing I want to do is I meant to do this before the show, but I just want to reiterate, please put a sticky note reminder somewhere that you have resolve tokens and you should use them.
Yes.
And everyone has a monologue token that you should use on someone else at some point during the game.
Yes.
And if you need there is a sheet for the resolve token player reference if you need to bring that up, because you can basically use it all sorts of cool ways. So just remember you have those because we were a little scant on them last episode. So
Yes.
just
Yeah.
want to drill that home. Okay. And I'm going to use Cole's monologue token since they're not here. And I would love to see, Drac, if you want to like set the scene of Namdi being at the lake before and what they look like. And then I would love to hear their like inner monologue because we've already kind of implied that maybe Namdi thinks the meetup is about Pandolf.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see what's going through his head that he thinks Theo is going to impart on him. So set the scene and then give us that inner monologue, please.
Okay, so I think it's probably fairly early in the morning, probably like crisp. Is it like? I'm assuming it's like no spring. 'Cause
Spring.
of, the wedding. Yeah, like crisp spring morning. Probably around like 9 a.m. in the morning, and he arrived 8:30 because you have to be always arrive early or on time, never a moment later. And I think right now he's in a very very dapper looking suit, like a I think it'd be red actually, like a red suit and tailcoat with dark black trousers, and he's got his hat under his arm right now as he's pacing back and forth in front of the pond, and probably like obviously waved at the father if they ever came out. I assume that they probably did. They probably just as early as a riser as Nnamdi, but once they left, he just went back into like his face immediately dropped to like a very serious looking demeanor as he walked back and paced back and forth. And I think he's thinking, I do have to admit that it was rather surprising getting a letter from Theodosia after all these years. I do really hope that it's about, I hope they admit to what they've known all this time. I've written quite a lot of letters to Inspector Lestrade, and and even though I do think I'm well within my right to ask for justice, I have to admit it's becoming rather embarrassing being brushed off like this. Hopefully I'll have some kind of proof now that Theodosia's admitting to their involvement, that will hopefully get my father the justice he deserves, and the rest I really do need. And I think that's just what he's thinking as he's waiting for Theodosia.
Beautiful. And is he like doing anything while he's kind of like having this, because you're there like a whole 30 minutes before, right? So what do you think he's doing to bide the time, or is he just like staring into the void and contemplating his revenge?
His revenge. Pacing back and forth, I think. I think he's it's gonna be awful when he finds out it's not, but I think right now he's got like the not full on relief, but like the stage of like he's kind of like, I'm looking forward to this because after this I can be at peace of mind, and that's all I've wanted for many years now. So he's pacing back and forth, kind of maybe I think for the first time thinking about what he's gonna do after this. Because I think even while his time in the military, he's still thinking about he needs to get justice for his father. That's always had his mind set on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What comes after the long time occupation of vengeance? A lot to think about. So Theo, you come upon this scene, and I'm like kind of picturing you entering kind of from around the church. So at a distance, you can see Nnamdi at the edge of the lake, very dapperly dressed and pacing back and forth, a furrow across his brow as you approach.
Oh yeah, so I think Theo today is also wearing a suit, not quite as fine make, and probably definitely in more. There's more Spanish influence in this particular suit, and not quite as English in construction, and as she strides up, be like, well, better person would feel a little guilty about leaving you waiting for so long, Mr. Obara, but I do believe our meeting time was now and not however long you've been here.
Just a quick little game. What title would Theodosia use? Is it Mix, Ms?
Ms. Yeah, Ms. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Ms. Lee, I always make sure I'm on time, or at least early. So you don't need to feel bad, though. I know that might not be in your capability. So what would you like to speak about?
Why don't we walk and talk?
I think there's like a very clear moment of like just a little bit of annoyance, and just goes, okay.
Yeah, and Theo will start leading kind of even before he finishes saying okay, and very leisurely pace and start to walk around the perimeter of the lake. And Theo probably had like hands like clasped behind her back and the such. Because so I'm sure you're wondering what I want to talk to you about.
Yes, we haven't sent letters to each other for quite a few years, so it must be very important.
Well, I'm actually more surprised that my letter made it to you in one piece, all things considered.
Most letters get to me, and when I decide whether or not they're worth following up with, I will be honest, if your letter said anything else, I probably wouldn't follow up with it either. But like I said, this seems very important, and I do think, though I do love and enjoy this view we're taking in, that it would be better if we cut to the point of this whole topic and meeting. I am a very busy man, as you may know.
Yes, very busy. Arriving early to everything must take up quite a bit of your time.
Miss Lee, what do you want to talk about?
Well, there's two folds upon our conversation here. I suppose one part is warning, and the other part is a possible opportunity. Let's call it that way.
Okay, I'm listening. What are you warning me about? And if you wouldn't mind following that up with, why do you want to warn me about this?
Well, in that particular order, I noticed that you were in quite some interesting conversation with Miss Foxgrove back at the wedding a few days past.
Yes, she's a friend of mine.
Huh. A friend. I see.
He gives them a look. Yes. Are you assuming otherwise, Miss Lee?
Oh, no, I wouldn't make such bold assumptions. But what I do want to say is that Miss Foxgrove, as wonderfully charming as she is how should we say? Those charms aren't quite discriminate.
Only you could hear me.
Miss Lee, I'm going to be quite frank with you. I'm sure you're fully aware of the reputation you have within the town, correct?
Oh, what type of person would I be if I was so unobservant that way?
So it's really doesn't seem very characteristic of you to beat around the bush, I suppose. Please be frank, Miss Lee. What are you trying to say about my dear friend, Miss Foxgrove?
Do you want to use your resolve token right now, Lauren?
Yes.
Is that what that face is?
Yes. Yes. Kiana, tell me what you think about this. I would like to use a resolve token to have Pablo appear on scene and witness his
Who's Pablo?
we hang
Oh, your
out
father?
Yes.
Yeah.
What? Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
I really like that. I would like to say I do want to have the full conversation with Namdi. But yes, having my father witness this would be really fun.
Well, I want to. So, what is your intention with having that happen, Lauren? Is it like Pablo just sees them alone together, and that is very upsetting to him, or is he meant to overhear the conversation and that's upsetting to him, or what's the intention of Pablo being there?
I think the intention that I'm going for is that Pablo is like super upset by the fact that they're even conversing because of how.
Because of the family
Yeah,
feud.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yes.
Theo experiences consequences.
So let's and what you're suggesting, Kiana, is like Pablo never interrupts the scene,
Yes.
but he does catch them from afar. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's play out the whole scene and then we'll do a little cutaway to Pablo at the end. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you lose a resolve token.
Yes.
And it'll go to Theodosia.
Woo!
That's great. Thank you. That's a perfect way to use a resolve token.
Love that.
Huzzah!
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I think Theo will just stop in her tracks for a moment, look at Namdi like straight in the eye, and she's pretty short, so it's probably like a look up kind of way. What I wish to say, Mr. Abara, is that Miss Foxgrove has gotten herself into some very interesting romantic entanglements. Some of which may have been without the full knowledge of all the parties involved. And not to say that you are anything more than close, dear friends with her, but you may just want to keep in mind that, you know, marriage season seems to be in the air these days.
Ms. Lee, are you implying that Miss Foxgrove is betrothed?
I mean to say that perhaps she's in a few too many committed relationships, or at least dallying in a few too many relationships than one should maybe probably do at any given point.
Thank you, Miss Lee, for enlightening me.
And to answer the question as to why I wanted to warn you, perhaps, of making sure you don't involve yourself too much in such entangling, I actually think that ties quite nicely with the next part of my why I wanted to talk with you. You see, I've been thinking quite a bit recently about the state of our families and well, I'm sure some would call it bad blood, some would call it a feud.
Some
Whatever
might call
we
it
like to
spilled
say.
blood. Yes.
I think that she tilts her head, like genuinely a little confused. Sure, that's what some people may want to call it. What I'm trying to say, Mr. Bara, or Namdi, is that I was looking past all of our history and how it's impacted, potential business dealings or, the fortune and health and growth of both of our families. And that though nobody really wants to talk about why such a feud had started, I'm sure it was over some small petty business. It's quite blossomed into something that, if Shakespeare's anything to be followed, would be quite unfortunate for both of our families in the end.
Miss Lee, first I'd like to say that Mr. Abara will do nicely. Secondly, are you supposing some kind of business venture with my family? truce?
I'm looking more for the latter than the former. I don't see how this family feud is productive to our families, nor to either of us who are carrying on the family name. It, quite honestly, seems quite silly. What I'm proposing is that we find some way to bridge the chasm that's formed between our families.
See, I'm sure you've heard about the allegations that I have propped it up against staff member, family friend of yours named Pandolf.
I would say family friend's a little bit of a stretch, but sure, my father's acquaintance.
I'm quite certain that he was involved with the death of my father. If you
Right.
truly want to bridge this chasm, help me bring him to justice.
And how do you suppose I would be able to help in your venture?
Well, it seems that Pandolf is, like you said, an acquaintance at the very least to your father. Maybe they confided in each other. Maybe they left some sort of piece of evidence that I could bring to Inspector Lestrade to prove that beyond just my words that Pandolf is in fact guilty. As the current chasm between a family is, it's very unlikely that I'll be allowed within your estate, let alone your actual house. So if you could find a way to find any evidence of this, I believe that'll be enough to bridge this chasm between our families.
You know, I have an idea for how you could be possibly invited into my family home, if you are open to hearing it.
I'm open to hearing it.
Well, when does a gentleman go to visit another person's home? On business visitation, though that's usually with the lead of the house. Otherwise, courtship is the other way.
I think that actually catches them off guard. Courtship.
If you were, let's say, coming to visit myself or my younger sister in a fashion of saying that you are interested in pursuing a courtship, well, I don't think my father would be able to refuse such a visitation. Not when the rest of society would raise some brows.
He just kind of turns away and just looks out into the lake, brows furrowed, just trying to. It sounds ridiculous to him, but it does seem like a good option. It would give him a much less limited time in the Lee household than if he just went when the father was out on a trip. He sighs and turns back to Theodosia. Courtship it is then. And because you are fully aware of what the true reason that I'll be visiting is, I think it'd be best for me and for your sister that we go the pretense that I'm there to court you.
Sounds like a plan.
And as I think the two of you are kind of sealing the deal on this, that is when the camera pans over and kind of just smoothly runs along the worn path of the lake until it turns, and we see the face of Pablo, Theodosia's father, that has just sort of turned a corner in the path and gotten his gaze off a letter that he's holding in his hand, just as like the hedge in front of him stops obstructing his view, and he sees clearly, his child and the son of one of his enemies, very close together, seeming alone, seemingly speaking very intimately. And he stops in his tracks and then just crumples the letters in his hand, and you can see the color rise in his face. And then we cut away from the scene. That was great. Oh my God. Ooh,
Hannah, every time you had to leave, was so good. You have to roll away.
I have to go to my people. That was so good, y'all. Ooh, okay. So would anybody else like to propose another visitation scene?
Yes. I think myself and my mother could use some time.
You and your mom. Okay, who plays your mom?
You.
Hey. We haven't met her yet, right?
No, we've only
Had a
heard
letter
about her.
written to her. Proud, determined, protective, dedicated to the success of the family. Gives plentiful advice in the form of a constructive insult. Great, I'm in. Where do you think they are meeting?
I think somewhere not the tea party. I think we could just be.
You could be at home too.
Yeah, I think we're at home. In the parlor, because it's like, the hours of the day when you're like available to be called on, whatever that is.
And what is the name of your estate?
I don't know.
So it's usually like estates are usually named like after the family or after like the like village that they're a part of or the countryside that they're a part of. I'm trying to think. Pemberley is the one in Pride and Prejudice. Longbourn is another one.
Yeah.
It could just be like Foxgrove Manor. Or
I think
like
so.
That.
I think that makes sense.
Okay. Foxgrove Manor. And your family is pretty well to do, right?
Yeah.
So it's a relatively large manor. Estate. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And what do you imagine the parlor looks like?
Actually, let me switch us to the garden since we've talked about it before.
Okay, yeah. The statue garden? Is that the right one? Or?
Yeah, I think it's like I think maybe like a rose garden.
Okay.
Like it has like different sections, but I think we sometimes take tea in the rose garden.
Okay, yeah. All right, is that what they're doing currently?
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll say like maybe it's like it's kind of like rows of roses and of different colors and they're formed in different ways to create little kind of nooks of privacy, and then somewhere in the center is like this larger outcropping where there's a small like iron seating set with some tea laid out, and I think like a servant has just come down and set down a fresh pot, and your mother is leaned back in the chair and gazing out on one of the flowers. Do you want to add any other details to the scene?
Yeah, I think servants are running everywhere because the ball's coming up and it takes so much preparation.
Is that your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a private ball. More intimate. So
I love that. Yeah.
Candles coming in, food, getting like prepared, what can get prepared in advance. So it's busy everywhere, but here's like just a little bit of privacy.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, perfect. Anything else you want to add?
No.
No. Okay, cool. So you both are sitting out there in the tea set, or in the tea setting, and your mother leans back and kind of takes in the scrambling of the servants around the estate and says, "Oh, I wish they wouldn't make it look so exerting. They're making me tired."
Well, Mummy, I mean, that one's carrying several boxes. Bill has a bad leg. Perhaps he should be doing something else?
Yes, perhaps he should. Perhaps I should fire him and hire someone who can carry boxes without such an ordeal being made.
Tea. So, Mother. Marriage. Am I right?
Yes, I'm familiar with the concept.
I less so, and I know that's been somewhat of a sticking point between us since I came out in society.
Was sticky how, my darling? Because you have yet to entice a suitor, is that what you mean?
Enticing the suitors is not the problem, it's just every time.
Just like these roses, sometimes it takes a while to bloom. It takes some preening and pruning in order to get a perfect rose. And she kind of reaches over her shoulder and touches like a really voluptuous bloom on one of the bushes next to her. So, although you haven't quite developed as quickly as I would have liked, I'm sure in due time you will be the belle of the ball. Are you raising your finger for a resolve token, Kiana? Oh, okay.
No, I was just having a moment.
Okay. Yeah, if anyone wants to use a resolve token or like a monologue token and you're worried about interrupting, just put it in the Zoom chat and I will fit it in.
Sweet.
Sorry, go ahead.
Wait, I have a resolve token.
Okay.
I got a resolve. I would love if Pandolf arrived.
Colin.
Yeah.
Or maybe later on into the conversation, but I think it would be very interesting if at the very least Pandolf's arrival was announced and seeing Trites and
I do play Pandolf.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. If you would volunteer to play Pandolf, I'd be okay with that. Just for the scene. Or if somebody else, Kiana, you would want to play Pandolf. I just don't want the scene to be me talking to myself.
You talking to yourself, yeah. Okay, never mind.
Hold on to it. I'll get it out of you later.
Yeah, it could be. It could also be that like that maybe her mother gets up to do go fuss with the servants or something, and then Pandolf. That's when Pandolf enters or something like that.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is basically going to be affecting Charity the most. So how do you feel about that, Lauren?
I feel great. I love it.
Okay, then you'll lose a resolve token and give it to Charity. And then we're going to hold off. I want to make sure we finish out the scene with between the mother and daughter, but then I'll work it in at the end. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Lauren. Thank you, Drac. She's still fussing with the flower next to her. It's kind of like she doesn't even know you're there.
But just hypothetically, Mummy, if I have enticed a suitor, we could...
You have?
Yes.
And who may you be speaking of? And why was I not made away sooner?
Well, it just, there was never really the right time.
Not the right time? Not the right time. We share the same estate day in and day out. I greet you every morning.
Yes, but I haven't seen
good
you
evening
much
every night.
I haven't seen you much recently because you've been so busy.
Because your father died?
What do you
Well,
think?
pardon me for being in my emotions.
You're
Dare
pardoned,
be it for me
Mother.
to take time for myself to mourn and to grieve. But news as important as this, you should know it supersedes such things.
Well, what?
Spit it out.
Yes. What do you think of of Mix Veneziano?
Who? Are you talking about a store?
Yes.
You have brought them up multiple times before, and I've told you my opinion already, and it has not changed. I find them dreadfully boring and exceedingly humble in the most atrocious of ways.
Mother, what would your ideal suitor for me look like?
I don't know. Not that, though.
Well,
So skinny.
what about Mr. Ibarra? He is very...
Who?
He has been to events here, Mother.
Describe him to me.
Tall, very muscular, kind of brooding, but not in a sad way.
Yes, I like that one, yes.
Good. And what about Mr. Pandolf?
What? You and Mr. Pandolf. I dare say that's the most absurd thing I have ever heard. Even upon just recently hearing about a story once again.
I just
You have interest in Mr. Pandolf?
No, I just wanted to see your reaction.
Do not toy with me, girl. I'm still very much anxious from your father's passing.
Yes, Mother.
Is this a game you're playing?
No.
What do you want me to say?
No,
And you open up to me and say that you possibly have a suitor and then proceed to list 3 people.
Well, perhaps I am more developed than you think.
Developed is not the word I would use.
That's what you said. Charity gets very flustered, but pulls it together. Sips her tea, looks out.
I hope that you do not make this readily known that you have multiple interests of multiple people. Because that would not only reflect badly on you, but this entire family. I do not need people about town going around knowing that my daughter is a reveler.
No, that your daughter is desirable. There's nothing wrong with that. And it is not just because of the size of your estate.
We are not speaking about how desirous you are, but how you desire much. And I think those things are 2 entirely different things. And one is quite acceptable, the former, and one is quite unacceptable, the latter. So tell me the truth of it, which is it?
I, of course, will follow your example in all ways.
I should think so. Should hope so. So tell me the truth of it. Are you desirous or desirable?
Desirable, just like you, Mother.
Well, then, which of these potential suitors do you fancy most? Or none at all. Perhaps you have your sights set on someone who does not desire you, as is often the case in love and life.
I have no strong opinions on them. I want...
But you have broached the subject just now.
Well, because I wanted your opinion, which I value above all others. Even my own.
Well, who is of the best station then?
Well, Mr. Ibarra is very respected. He was a military man.
We do appreciate a military man, but certainly below our income, isn't it?
True. Well,
And I know for a fact a store is right out.
yes.
So, and of course, Pandolf I find to be absurd of a match for you. So I suppose the only reasonable option that you've mentioned is Mr. Ibarra.
I think I still have a good year or so for us to keep vetting.
A year or so? You are 21, a 9-year-old maid. You've been out for years. Years. With nothing to show for it. Are you to depend on me for the entirety of your life? For I will not have it. You know who I like? I like that Mortimer fellow.
You know, Mother, I feel a bit faint. She stands up.
Well, do go lie down. I can't have you hitting the ground out here where everyone can see you.
No, of course not. Thank you, Mother.
She literally waves you off.
Yeah.
And then I think, you know, as you're... if anyone wants to spend a monologue token, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. I do want to spend
Okay,
a monologue
cool,
token.
great.
Where the fuck is Charity's head at? Like, actually, when she's not talking to her mom. Like, what's happening here? What's going on?
Charity. Winning Mother's approval for a store is impossible unless things were arranged in such a way that he were acceptable to her in a way that only made sense to her. Charity is, I imagine, like, she is, like, walking around the corner of the estate, maybe to a bench or something to, like, actually sit, and catch her breath. And is trying to just grapple with how she feels. You know, a store has been in my life for so long, but lately it's like they're not even here most of the time. And Namdi always has been, even when circumstances have been less than ideal. So I need to make a choice. Soon. But not today. I'm going to go see if the cook has anything to eat.
That was perfect. I need to make a choice. Soon.
Not now, when it's
Not now.
difficult.
So it's safe to assume that Charity is very much undecided on the matter.
Yeah,
Right,
she's,
okay.
yeah.
Pride and procrastination. Perfect. That's so funny. Perfect. And I think as you're going inside, Pandolf is on the way out to the garden. Like maybe the servants told him that this is Drax's resolve token. That your mother was out in the garden, so he's going to meet her, but he catches you in the doorway into the house, and you practically like bump into each other.
Yes.
And he puts his hands out on your shoulders to like stabilize you, and is like, "Oh, pardon me, darling. I was just about on my way to entreat your mother for a bit of a promenade around the garden."
Oh, it's
you
no trouble
Quite
at
all
all.
right.
I'm fine. I'm a bit, overexerted.
Overexerted? Have you been taking in much exercise today?
Yes, I love being in the outdoors and just walking so much. I love it. I mean, it's not the same as dancing. Are you coming to the ball?
Oh, if the two of you shall have me, I shall be quite engaged upon to attend. Shall you have me?
Well, it's of course up to my mother. She seems to have, she doesn't approve of a lot of people, but she does seem to approve of you.
Is that right? Has she been saying some nice things about me?
No, she mostly calls you absurd.
Oh, well, not wholly unjustified, I suppose.
Well, it's the most pleasant of her critiques, so.
Fair enough. And he tilts his head and takes another look at you, and lifts his hand up and like touches your cheek, and is like, "Are you sure you're quite all right, darling?
Oh, yes.
You have quite a color to your face, and a sheen about your brow. You seem in quite a distress."
Yes, I'm just going to go and get some water. Excuse me. Just gonna shuffle.
Okay.
Do the shuffle. Bye.
And his eyes like follow you as you go into the house, and he stands there for a couple beats, and then like, us as the viewers see like a filthy smirk on his face before he turns to meet your mother in the garden.
Those are my favorite kind of
Yes,
smirks.
a filthy smirk.
Filthy one.
And that will end that visitation. And unless anyone else wants to get in like a speed round visitation, we'll go to reputation. Does anybody have one they want to squeak in?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay,
God.
we'll move to God. We'll move to reputation phase. Does anybody assessing your major character's behavior against your reputation criteria? Do you think you've incurred any negative or positive reputation tags? Let us start with Lauren.
I think I got a positive one that time.
Yeah, for why?
Yeah, because I denied my desires to uphold the family name. I'm putting my mother's approval before anything that I want, basically.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yes.
Because you're basically like, you're playing into the idea of being tied down, where like historically you've kind of just done whatever you wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Like to make her happy or to like fulfill your role or whatever. Absolutely. What positive tag are you gonna add?
I think I could come up with one too. I think the one that makes sense from there might be sensible.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what all tags do you have right now?
I have 2 positive and 2 negative. Positive are generous and sensible, and negative are self-obsessed and overbearing.
Sounds about right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Kiana, did you garner any?
Oh God.
I have a tag for Kiana's character.
Yes.
No, I'm just joking. I love you. Mwah.
Uh-huh. I'm I feel like I might have one, but I'm like looking at it being like, I don't know.
So you did meet up with your family's rival.
I sure
Yeah.
did.
So I think you were definitely acting against the interests of your family and
Yeah.
therefore like, your station.
My duty
Yeah.
and morality.
Yeah. So I think you might incur a negative tag.
Woo!
And maybe
Join
it's
me.
something like I don't know, like traitor or sneak or I don't know, something like that. Betrayer.
Disloyal.
Just loyal. I like that.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
I like that a lot.
That is 3 negative
Oh.
conditions.
Oh, you get a negative condition then. Okay. What are the potential negative conditions you can incur?
As a that's on my character roll, correct? That's on my roll?
On your
Family background?
Oh, no, it's your character. Your character.
Okay, yeah. So I've got my 2 options are mind your own business, which is others distrust you and refuse to participate in your schemes and plans, or fracture. Someone close to you is appalled by your behavior and refuses to talk to you.
That one's perfect.
That one's
Pablo,
perfect.
Your dad. Yeah.
My dad.
So, and again, remember you can get rid of those if you turn the reputation tags into resolve tokens and use them in like a narratively sensical way. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my God,
So you-
Mocho!
Sorry, Dad.
Mochos!
Thank you, Mocho.
Mocho, thank you.
Thank you, Mocho.
Is Spice Lord?
Yes.
I'm a spice bender. I love that. That's perfect. So we'll say like after catching you in that conversation, your father will not speak to you, or if he does, it's very clipped and only when necessary. But if you kind of like use those tags as resolve tokens and get rid of them, then that he'll talk to you again. So
Sounds good.
cool. Great. I love it.
Sorry, Dad. I'm the family disappointment.
Felt that. Namdi, Drac, what do you think?
Yeah.
Namdi. He did
I-
the same thing.
Yeah, he did.
Met up with the family rival, so
Yeah.
and you basically agreed to court them. So
Yeah. I mean, it's pretend, but it still against my
It's
duty.
Fake
Right.
relationship.
is it pretend? It's pretend for now.
We'll see.
So yeah, I think that makes sense. What would that mean? Like, what negative tag would that be?
I think disloyal again would work, but it could be something a little bit more specified to Namdi.
Yeah.
Like consorter or schemer or
I kind of like schema.
liar.
Liar. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with liar. I think he's always tried to think of himself as an honest man. So I think
Okay.
right
And
now, yeah. And
what
that's
tags
3.
in all do you? Oh, you have 3 negative tags
Yeah,
now?
reckless, stubborn, and liar.
Okay, so what are your potential conditions?
What is that one? Is that character role? The character role sheet, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do I find that?
Right
Reputation.
column bottom. Yeah.
Okay, the reputation. There's the
Be 2 negative options.
fracture, which is someone close to you is appalled by your behavior and refuses to talk to you, or revenge. Connection turns against you and spreads rumors and malice behind your back.
Both of our families just fucking cold.
Yeah.
Like ices is out.
Connection.
I don't think I have any family connection, so I don't think it'd
No.
be family.
Well, but I mean, someone else could just be like appalled by your behavior and spreading those rumors. Let's look at your connections. I mean, Pandolf could just be spreading them.
Oh my god.
I could see that, to be honest.
Or would you think Anastasia would do that? Like she's close enough to your family, she's appalled by your behavior, so she starts talking shit.
Oh, because she finds out that you're courting someone from the family that had something to do with
your father's
yeah.
death.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
She's a
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, mark that down, and then if you clear them, Anastasia won't behave in that way anymore. But for right now, maybe she's not like instigating the rumors, but she's definitely like taking part in them, you know,
Yeah.
because she's disappointed in you for the way that you're behaving.
Yeah, that makes
Is
sense.
that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the maybe the like explicit trust between the two of you that you had before has been like clouded by that. So
Yeah.
she's a little bit distrusting of you right now. Okay, and that's everybody, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay, cool. Then let's take our break, and then we'll come back for rumor and scandal.
Alrighty,
Yep,
everybody.
sounds good.
We will BRB. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, we have returned. Hello, everyone. So if you're just joining us, we are Salty Sweet Games. This is our new tabletop rotating mini campaign series in collaboration with Friends Who Roll Dice, and we are playing Good Society, which we're very excited about. Our special guest is Vanna, who is our storyteller with us. So we're going to hop back into it. There's been much drama. Much drama has unfolded.
Hold it.
Just a little, just tiny bit.
Just a skosh.
Just a smidgen.
Little skosh of drama.
Oh, I love the word skosh.
Right?
Skosh.
Just a skosh.
Skoosh.
And yeah.
That is perfect you bring that up because we are in our rumor and scandal phase. So it is the perfect time to bring attention to the best bits of drama. In this cycle of play, we are going to either we're going to go around twice, and you're going to either create a rumor or spread one. And if there are ones, the war between the UK and Spain and the newly married couple has come into money unexpectedly, if no one spreads those, then they're going to start fading.
Cool.
And they'll be less obvious, and that's just how that works. So you can spread or create a brand new one. It can be these aren't rumors that your characters are creating or initiating or engaging with necessarily. They're just rumors that are about society, not about society. Well, maybe they're about society, but you know what I mean. That are from the general society, and kind of known throughout, depending on if they've been spread or not. How well, that will be determined. So yeah, let's go around. Let's start with Drac this time. Would you like to start or spread a rumor?
I'd be
Also,
remiss.
you keep doing this and it's so cute. Did you see Mocho's screenshot?
Yeah.
So good.
It's very good.
So fucking adorable.
I'd be remiss not to spread the rumor of Nnamdi and Theodosia. So Nnamdi courting Theodosia. I feel like that just
So it's
has
already
to.
been spread, so you don't have to, right?
Oh, it has already had. Okay.
Oh wait.
No,
Nnamdi-
that's the other.
Oh, you're not spreading it. You have to create one.
I have to create one.
Okay,
Yeah, that's the one I want to
Because
create.
it's not on the. If you look up, do you have the spreadsheet open?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just add that.
Okay.
So what do you want it to say?
Nnamdi
Nnamdi
is courting Theodosia, his family rival.
Theodosia. Love that. Okay. And then we will go to Kiana.
Yeah. I'm gonna spread that there's war brewing between the UK and Spain.
Nice.
So that is basically like society believes that to be true. Basically, we can decide together if it actually is or not, but it is a very powerful concern right now.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Lauren.
Yeah. I think a good rumor would be that I think I do want to. Oh, it's hard to decide.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
If you want to skip too, you can let me know.
Yeah. Yeah. Come back to me a second.
Okay.
I will. will
We'll kick
scheme.
it back to Kiana.
Woo! Okay. New rumor. I think something to do with the upcoming ball. I'm just trying to figure out what.
Okay, yeah.
Like, someone's gonna unexpectedly be there, or
Yeah.
like something weird about the. I'm
Maybe
not
like
sure.
someone's not invited.
Ooh, yeah, someone's not invited.
We know Pandolf's invited, so who
Super
didn't
invited.
get an invite?
Ooh. Let me go to our characters.
Yeah.
Who
Who
we
did not
have?
get invited?
I mean, it could be like Beatrice or Pablo.
Oh. Oh, my sister. Yeah,
Definitely
like
inviting Mortimer.
yeah, we are inviting Mortimer. And we are inviting Pandol.
Or maybe, oh,
Heaven.
you know who should be? It should be a store. Didn't get invited.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
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 Very public snub.
Totally. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Drac.
Okay, do I have to make one, or is it still like either spread
You
or
can
make?
spread or make one.
Okay. Can I spread my own rumor? I kind of want to double down on the Nnamdi and Theodosia, and
Yeah.
Nnamdi's course of
So
Theodosia.
I don't know how, but that got around quick.
Oh, real fast.
Someone came out of the lake as soon as y'all left and was like, I heard it all.
Takes out a snorkel, like, damn, I would have some
Yeah.
good shit.
Someone was
I
hiding
kinda-
in the bushes.
I kind of like the idea that maybe Anastasia was spreading it because you like confided in
Sure.
her and then she got mad because we've established, right, that you have that reputation condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she got mad and she was just like, I'm going to fuck this up by telling everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
I feel like I don't know, I might be wrong and it might just make this more complicated, but I feel like Nnamdi would have told Theodosia, like not Theodosia, Anastasia the actual plan, but the fact that he's lying and scheming to get this justice, I think she thinks that's not the way.
It's not
His
honorable.
father- yeah, it's not
Yeah.
honorable.
And if you're going to
Barbara
double
wouldn't want
down
that.
on this engagement thing, you better be ready for everyone to know.
Yeah. I like that a lot. Cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Lauren, have you? Have you?
Yeah. I think that there's a rumor that Kevin is planning on proposing.
To
Yeah.
Beatrice,
Like
right?
soon, yeah, to Beatrice. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he moved fast.
Yeah. He's in
Um,
love.
Okay, and then I'm gonna add one since Cole's missing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say Mortimer is going to propose to Charity at the ball.
Oh my god.
So
Um,
escalating from that
he's getting
previous
it.
one.
And then Lauren, you get a second turn. So
Yeah.
you can make a new rumor or spread a rumor.
Okay, I'm gonna make a new rumor, I think,
Okay.
actually. And it's that just double down on that. A store.
Mhm.
I don't remember a store's family background, but I think it's like humble origins or something.
Yes.
Mine's
Yeah.
humble origins, I think. Oh no, I'm new money. Yeah, they're,
You're
hu-
new
they're
money.
humble
Okay,
origins.
okay.
Mhm.
I think. Actually, I'm just gonna spread that a store was not invited to the ball for now. I want to see
Okay.
if Cole's into an idea.
Okay.
When we're back with them. So yeah, I'm gonna spread that a store was not invited to the ball.
Okay. Boom. All right, and then we're gonna fade out. Newly married couple is coming to money. And that is our rumor and scandal phase. So definitely keep all those in mind, and remember that you can expend these also as resolve tokens. So if your character or a connection that you play, like it involves them and they want to use it to their advantage, again narratively, making sense, then you can cross one of the rumors out and use a resolve token in that way as well.
Cool.
And you should all still have a couple in your character slots still.
I'm all out.
You're all out.
Yeah.
Okay. You should have gotten a one up from last time. You
Yeah, I
used it?
used that immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, somebody make some deals with Nnamdi.
Yeah, we'll make
Those
Nnamdi's
are-
life
I
hard.
have a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
Hello.
life is already hard. Okay.
Yeah, you can pitch something to me too, Drac, because I have all mine. So
Okay.
whatever you think. Okay, then we're going to move on to our epistolary phase. This is where
Yes.
we write up to 2 letters each from a major character or a connection. And in this phase, you can also use resolve tokens to compel somebody else's major character or their connection to write a letter. And you can also use monologue tokens on anyone if you want to, when they're after they wrote a letter, you want to see what they were really thinking when they wrote it. So anyone want to kick us off with that?
I think I would like Anastasia to write a letter to Namdi.
Oh, I was thinking that as well, actually. Yeah.
Okay. And I wrote I turn on the ASMR.
Yes, I'll put that
If
up.
you
Oh
can
wait,
hear
I love
it.
it.
It's a little quiet, so I just want to make sure you know.
Yeah, I'll put that up.
Okay. From Anastasia to Namdi.
Yeah.
And what do you want that letter to kind of the basis of it be?
I think, because I think it'll be fun for me. I think Anastasia is kind of tearing him a new one. But under the guise of, like, reminding him of his principles and everything he's been fighting for with Inspector Lestrade, and how this could compromise it, etc., etc. And also, have you thought about how this will affect other people that you know, maybe? That's what
LOL me. Yeah, so I think what you can do is take a resolve token from... Are you comfortable with that, Drac?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you can take a resolve token from Anastasia's pool.
Yep.
And give it to Namdi.
Perfect.
I don't think any of the rumors would work.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be it.
Perfect.
Cool, and then go for it.
My old friend. Since our last conversation, I have been avoiding you, as you may have noticed. Most of the time I've been finishing that sketch I showed you. I'm thinking about turning it into a full piece. And as I've been working, I've had more and more time to think about what you confided in me. This pretense with the child of the man somewhat responsible for your father's death strikes me as not only absurd, but also detrimental to your mission, the one that you have pledged yourself to. And as your oldest friend and former colleague, I felt it was my moral duty to point this out. And though I was overwhelmed by my emotions when we were physically together, having this time apart to think about it and set what is in my mind into words has only confirmed this. I urge caution when dealing with the Lee family, especially that particular one. I also urge you to think of the other people that this news might affect. As I said, I was upset and may have expressed that aloud, publicly. I hope that you have come to your senses by the time of the Foxgrove Ball. I hope that your mission to avenge your father has not all been a dalliance of youth, and that you are still the same man I've always called my friend and been honored to call my friend. Sincerely, Anastasia.
Damn. Fuck. Man, does anyone have a monologue token to use on Drac right now?
Yes, I do.
I really want to.
Okay.
I really want to know what Namdi is thinking when reading. When reading Anastasia's letter.
Okay. Sorry, there's a couple going on in the background. That's good. But okay, while he's reading, I think at this point you probably heard that the rumors have spread.
Yeah.
From
But like someone who's really close to you is challenging your character, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also, if you're not comfortable doing it, we can not do it.
Now I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah. So while he's reading it, after reading it, probably actually, I think he's in the same smoking room and kind of like looks up at the spot where Anastasia had been
yeah.
the last time he read a letter here, and folds it up and sets it on the small desk beside him. I confided in her, hoping that she would understand where I was coming from. It's been many years that I've been looking for justice for my father, and I've gone about it all the right ways. I hadn't stopped writing Inspector Lestrade to the point where I'm almost certain he's made sure that my letters never get to him. But that hasn't stopped me. I had openly and publicly put eyes on Pandolf, hoping that that would make him slip and expose himself for the killer he is, and that hasn't worked out for me either. I've gone about it in every right way that I could, and none of it has bared fruits. This is the only other way I know of that I haven't tried yet. I'm all out of options, and I hope after all of this is done and after Pandolf is put behind bars where he belongs, Anastasia will see and understand that. I can't say that she isn't wrong, that this isn't the most honorable way to go about it, but at this point it's the only way. I think, yeah, that's all he has to think about
Yeah,
it.
that's perfect.
Good shit.
Thank you, Dren. Okay, who else wants to write a letter or entreat someone else to write a letter? Everyone can do up to 2.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of one Namdi would write, because I don't think I've written one for Namdi, at least for a bit.
Could do some explaining.
Personally, I kind of like the idea of it having to be in person.
Me too. It's so
Yeah.
juicy.
Yeah. Give me a second. I was going to look for the connections.
Yeah. I have a question. How Pandolf and Pablo, like, how did we establish how involved Pablo was?
No, we were mostly just like, they're family friends.
Yeah.
The unfortunate
Family
connection situation.
Okay. Hear me out. What
Okay.
if Pablo? What if I could go either way, but what if Pablo wrote a letter to Pandolf? That because Pablo knows that something is, because the rumor has spread, Pablo knows about Namdi and Theo right now, right? So what if Pablo writes to Pandolf kind of like sort of intimating like that he doesn't like that. And a good way to pay him back for the thing all those years ago might be to interfere with that in some shady way.
Oh,
You want
wait.
him to
shit.
entreat Pandolf to kill Namdi?
To like maybe kill Namdi. To like maybe like
Make the problem go away.
make the problem
No.
go away. He's not gonna say like kill Namdi. But like, could you you're good
Okay,
at,
I mean, this is up to you. This obviously affects your character
Yes.
the most out of anyone. So that
I'm
is
more than okay with this.
yeah. Okay, then I think you would just take one. Do you have a personal resolve token, Lauren? For
Yeah,
your major character?
yeah.
Okay, I would give that to Namdi. Please.
absolutely.
Do I play Pablo?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other thing is, like, when you said it, were you implying that Pablo, like, assisted with killing Namdi's dad?
There was something. I don't think we ever established it.
Because I think then we'll also have to check in with
Yeah.
Kiana and see
Yeah.
how.
What do you think?
Because if your
Well, at the
dad
very-
was complicit in a murder, that would probably affect you a little bit.
Yeah.
I think my dad knows that Pandolf did the murder
Like
and has
protected him?
kept it a secret. Yeah, and protected him.
That's complicit. I
yeah,
would
so
think,
like
yeah.
didn't actually do any murdering, but was definitely wasn't involved in actual murder, but in the aftermath of
Yeah.
I will protect you because there's no good blood between me and that family. So
Yeah, or even like since we've done business together in the past, it wouldn't be good for my business if people found out I had previously done business with a murderer.
Woo,
So
yeah.
I'm just gonna keep that.
Yeah, so we're just gonna
Okay.
um
Oh my god.
in which case yeah, because it seems like both Lauren and I have now added to this relation. So if Lauren, you use the resolve token to compel this conversation, I would like to use one to make that whole thing happen. That whole this was a complicit cover up.
Yeah, I mean, if you want it, that part affects your character the most. So I don't
Yeah.
think you need to use a resolve token.
Okay, cool.
Just hang on to that.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah. Holy
complicit
shit.
in the cover up.
Complicit in the cover up. All right. Okay. So Pablo is sitting down to write his letter. And I think maybe it's like, it's not right after the lake, but it's like a few days after where the rumors have started to circulate, and he was already angry that he caught them together at all. And now there's these rumors that they're going to be courting. And he's just like incensed. And I think he is in just a moment of pure temper as he's writing. He's very like gruffly writing this letter out to Pandolf. And it says, "My dear Pandolf, it has come to my attention that there has been a breach in the unwritten contract between my family and the Lee family, and it has gotten me quite incensed, to say the least. I have not found myself so upset with Theo in all my years of having them under my wing and in my house. But at this moment, I cannot even bring myself to look at them, let alone speak to them. And it is making my home life quite uncomfortable and arduous. And I must say, it would mean a great deal to me if I could beseech you, entreat you to provide me some assistance on the matter. I think the main point of the problem in this scenario is Namdi. And if Namdi were gone, away, and his questioning silenced and his accusations evaporated into past memory and nothing more, all of our problems would be solved, don't you think? Mine and yours our shared resolve that we have passed come together to create, I think it would be much easier on everyone involved. Especially my dear Theo, who I imagine is only doing this out of coercion or some other nasty means. So, as you may recall, you owe me a favor or 2 or 3. So if you could bring it upon yourself to separate the 2 of them and keep these rumors from coming to fruition, it would mean the utmost to me. And as a reward, I will continue to keep your confidence. But if you are unable to help me, perhaps my lips will become loosened. And who knows what will become of you and your station in the future. I'm certain that Miss Hilda, newly widowed, would not be impressed. Yours truly, Pablo.
That was amazing.
Oh boy.
Yowza!
This is great.
Oh, we're in deep.
Into the thick of it!
Wait, I'm just
Ugh.
I just realized I have apparently I have a type, and that is engaged. In my TTRPGs, it's just caught. I just caught on to that.
I just want to be engaged. I want to be with someone who is engaged.
Fake
Okay.
engagement.
Those are good.
So Drac, you haven't wrote a letter from one of your characters, and
Yeah.
Kiana, you haven't written a letter from one of your characters yet.
I have not.
What do you think?
I'm trying to think of who.
I feel like Theo could write a letter to her dad to try and convince him to
Chill the fuck out.
talk to them, chill out a little bit. Or Theo could write a letter to somebody about their schemes.
I think writing a
Theo
letter
could-
to Beatrice.
Okay.
To her sister.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I imagine like Theo, I think in the process of her dad just, cutting them off for a bit, that also means like very limited talking time with
Mhm.
Beatrice. So a letter it is, be in the same house, still. Yeah. My dearest Beatrice, I don't know how many times this is that I have angered father, but this seems to be quite of a new magnitude that we are unused to here in the household. I am sorry about making everything quite so stifled, more than usual at least, at dinner times and the such. But you have always talked about that I could do better, that I could be better. And as much as I would like to believe in that myself, I know where my strengths are. And I know that although I may not be the most model of gentle society, what I am trying to do is improve the fortunes of not just myself, but of the whole family and therefore you. I know it's difficult to watch me go off on my own and take matters in my own hands and more often than not get into some heated discussions and the such because of it. But you don't have to worry about me. If Father continues to shut me out, well, that is about what I expect at this point. I just want you to not have to worry about this silly family feud. Ensure that all of our wealth and good health, it remains intact. So just trust me. And maybe make sure that you distance yourself from this for a bit. My love, as always, Theo.
That's perfect. Yee.
I have an idea
Okay.
of one outright. It's going to be from Kevin to a story. And it's going to be about, I think he heard about the fact that they weren't invited to the ball. And if I'm remembering correctly, the plan was for them to go with him to the ball. So he had some moral support to talk to Beatrice. So now that they're not invited, I think they have a bit of concern about that.
Okay, yeah, I love it.
So, my dear friend, Astor, I'm sure you've heard of the whispers and tales being spread across town. Some about a Mr. Ibarra, others about, and their unexpected union with Ms. Lee. But the one I would like to bring to light, specifically to you, is the fact that you haven't been, and very publicly haven't been invited to the ball that's being held at the Foxgrove estate. I would be lying if I said that me writing to you is purely out of selfless concern, though I am curious and worried as to what you must have done, what they may think you have done to wrong them. If you have any way to enlighten me on that, please do, and let me know if there's any way I can help. But I do trust that you'll do fine. You have been much better at navigating the war zone that is known as good society. But I can't say that I have the same skills and ability to do the same. Remember while we're walking through the garden of your aunt, when you said that you would come with me to support my endeavor to speak and possibly propose to Beatrice, but without you there, I don't know if I have what it takes to do it. If you have any advice or find a way to come to the board with me, please let me know. I desperately need my friend at my side. Your closest and most trusting friend, Kevin.
Wait, is it? Oh yeah, they are best friends. Okay.
Yeah. They're best friends.
That was great. So basically, like, I know you weren't invited, but you have to come.
You should come.
Yeah.
You have to come.
You have to come, or I may or may not implode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Please, I have anxiety. Hasn't been discovered or diagnosed in this time period, but I promise that's what I
Well,
have.
they do talk about like nerves and stuff. So like
Nerves.
Yes, that
anxiety
is
as a
true,
mental health
yeah.
disorder hasn't been discovered, but it's like, I mean, particularly women, they're
Yeah.
just like, oh, my nerves.
Yeah.
They're running amok on my
Mrs. Bennett
being.
is always
Yeah.
going on about it, but it's like, I
About-
think she
yeah,
does actually.
She
Yeah.
really does, yeah.
I might just have a smidge of anxiety.
Yeah.
You know?
Just a little bit.
Skosh. A skosh.
A
Skosh.
skosh. Word of the day. All right, any other letters? You can also use resolve tokens to get them from connections, or you can also have you can write to, you don't have to write to a character. You can write to like something outside the game.
Oh, interesting.
He plays Beatrice again.
Huh?
He plays Beatrice. Cole. Okay,
Cole,
Cole's in
please.
here.
I could play them though.
Yeah.
I kind of want to. Lauren, who did you write a letter to?
Anastasia wrote a letter to.
Anastasia wrote to me. Yeah. Okay. I kind of want to. I kind of want to know what Beatrice. I'll use a monologue token. I kind of want to know what Beatrice's reaction to Theo's letter was. If that passed too long ago, I don't know, but yeah.
What do you think? I mean, it's your sister. What do you think her reaction would be, Kiana?
It's a lot of probably like exasperation.
Yeah.
It's just like, are you fucking serious? Really?
Like, do you think that she'd be compelled to go against your wishes of like staying out of it, or do you think she'd want to involve herself?
I think so. I feel like I say, like, oh come on, like, you need to stop doing this, and less of like the okay, you can like do your schemes or whatever, but you can't like just tell me to stay out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially since like I care about you and I think that you're gonna be in deep trouble.
Yeah. Okay, then Drac, can you give a resolve token to Theo? I think it'll affect Theo the most. Right? We can agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was muted. Yes, I said yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, cool. And I think it is written in a bit of a rush, with emotion, and it says, my dearest sibling, I cannot believe what I have just read. I know you, of course, to be quite a troublemaker in this household, and Papa has always been a bit cross about you with one thing or another, but he has told me to my face that he flat out refuses to speak with you at all. I'm actually quite surprised you're still in the house. And I guess I can appreciate on some level that you want to protect me or something like that. I, of course, will not be kept out of it. I am your sister. I'm not going to be kept out of it. You are part of this family, and whatever business that you get yourself into has consequently become mine as well. So I'm not going to stay out of it, not one bit. And if you insist on going about it in such a way, then I am inclined to make this courtship and this potential engagement, the most thrilling and beautiful thing that this country has ever seen. And if you need any assistance with romancing Nandi or going about making a show of it, I dare say I must be involved in passing of notes or a spreading of rumors or dropping by the estate to relay information. Whatever you need, please, I am at your disposal. For the show you make of this, for whatever reason you are doing it, will reflect on me. And as I am newly out, you can imagine that has quite a weight on my future. So do not try to protect me, and instead allow me to protect myself and help you with these endeavors. Your loving sister, Beatrice.
I love her so much.
Oh god, they're great.
Does she hand deliver it?
Yeah,
I think
she just
walk
walks
in.
up and it's like
Walk to the door, hands it, and leaves.
Yes.
slams the door behind her.
Yes. I love it. I love it.
She's so good.
The audacity.
Like Theo like slid her letter like under the door when they delivered it, and that's just like just like an hour later.
She just like kicks the door open.
Slam! That's great. All right, any other letters? Cool. Let's move on. Great epistolary phase, fan. That was great. Hello. All right, next is going to be another novel chapter, and I'm thinking we're doing the ball. Is that what we're doing?
I think so.
Yeah.
Anybody else has any other ideas? We'll just do a big event one. Does that sound good?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Heck yeah. Guess what? I have ball music.
Let me turn it up even more.
So prepared. Wait, I need to turn it up as well.
It's like I love this game or something. Beatrice is my hero.
I love Beatrice
She's a
so
sassy lady,
She's
and we
great.
love
much.
her.
She's very sassy.
I wonder who she gets that from. Okay, so this is at the Foxgrove Manor. So let's all work together, but let me get the core of it from you, Lauren. What does the ballroom at Foxgrove Manor look like, and how has it been decorated for this event?
Yeah, I think there are all sorts of fresh, like, exotic flowers from the garden, which I'm sure Mortimer is, like, going around and explaining to people.
Oh my god.
So many candles. Candles were so expensive, but you needed them for the balls, and they have to, like, be of a certain hour. Like, so if you see, like, a really long candle, you're like, oh, yeah, here we go. It's time.
This is a
a
night.
6-hour candle affair. All right. And in a nearby room, they have, the servants have, like, laid out very, like, sumptuous finger foods. I don't know if there's, like, an actual sit down for this, or if it's kind of people go in and...
So it's up to how y'all want to do it, but there's definitely balls that were, like, just dancing, but then there were some that were, like, dancing, and then they'd have the servants bring out, like, tables and chairs, and everybody would have dinner, and they'd, then it would end, or they'd put it away and there'd be more dancing. So it's up to you. What are y'all feeling? What kind of ball do you want?
I
I like a bit of both.
Yeah, I like having the chance to, like, sit down with everybody.
Sure, yeah. So
yeah.
we'll say at the beginning it's like the dancing portion, and then if we want to have, like, one of the snippets be, like, during dining, we can do that.
And I think
Okay.
there's enough light, like, early on, maybe a little before sunset, that people are also walking out into the various sections of the garden.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of open, like the glass doors out to the garden are all open.
Ooh, I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to add, like, decor details or garden details, or, like, maybe how, like, some of the guests are dressed? Like, what? Any other details anyone wants to add?
I think would there be tea and stuff here? Would that be like
There'd
a
probably
drink?
be refreshments. I mean, if they're walking
Refreshments.
around with food, I imagine there would be right refreshments.
I think Kevin provided some. I think Kevin provided some
Okay, yeah.
from his store. I think we established that his cakes aren't great, but his tea is. So I think at the very least they might have got, like, some like batch delivery of tea.
Yeah.
And
Maybe there's, like, a
beverages.
few tables out in the garden that are set up, and each has, like, a little teapot that is being freshened by the
Yeah.
servants, and maybe there's, like, a little standee that indicates where that it's from Kevin's tea party.
Yeah.
The tea party. Yeah,
That's probably why Kevin was invited. I feel like
Yeah.
not solely for that, but I feel like that's one of the reasons, because he's not exactly of very high standing in society. So
So
I
you
think,
don't think they paid for it? You think he
no,
like...
I think they paid for it, but it
Oh,
also
okay.
had him. It was also like a thank you for the tea. You're also invited.
Okay,
More like
yeah.
a pity invite than anything else.
Okay.
I want to say that there's some form of theme to this ball. I'm just not sure what.
Yeah. There's a theme to the ball. I mean, we did mention exotic flowers.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
the theme is, like, jungle or something. I don't know. What do you think, Jan?
I kind of like that.
Hmm.
Yes,
I'm
the
trying to
party
think.
sponsored by Tea Party.
Tea party sponsored by Kevin. There's a theme to the ball. I'm trying to think of, like, what kind of, like, novelizations were out at the time. Like if Alice in Wonderland was out or something like that. You know what I mean? That'd be
Ooh.
Oh,
like that would be
that'd be
cool.
really interesting. Yeah.
Did people read?
What did people read?
People read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Oh, God, no.
Like Scarlet Letter.
Shakespeare. Shakespeare is always a classic.
Oh, what about
Midsummer?
It's like Midsummer.
Midsummer Night's
Yeah.
Dream. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Is that
So
sound
it's
good?
like also vaguely like
Fae.
Athens, Greek,
kind
combined
of Athens
with
Greek, some kind of fairy, also themed.
Yeah.
Which explains exotic
Yeah.
flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fairy themed, very like dreamlike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe like very like a lot of the colors are very like light.
Mm.
Light colors and like dainty decor. Yeah, I love that.
Beautiful.
Cute. All right. Any other details you want to add to the space?
Nah, that sounds
We've
good.
got a good picture.
We've got a good vibe.
And let's say,
Yeah.
is there a lot of people in attendance, or is it like a smaller, more private ball?
I think it's private, but I think there's still like a healthy number in attendance just because the place is actually big. So there's probably some people that Mother knows from town too. But most of the
Like in from
Yeah.
London or something?
yeah.
Okay.
That's always good.
Servers are in Fae costumes. Oh my goodness. They have little tiny wings on.
And Charity's
cool.
dressed like Titania.
Of course she is.
Of course she is.
Thank you.
Yeah, feel free to, if we enter in a scene, explain like how your character is dressed too.
I find this very funny because I've played 2 games now, Good Society and Midsummer Mysteries, and both of them end up having the theme of Midsummer.
Yeah.
Current or something. Yeah, both of them had the theme of that. So I guess it's following me
Yeah,
around.
I think
It's
one
cool.
of my high school dances was too, so it's pretty common.
Yeah.
Something about Midsummer. Okay, cool. So we got a good idea of what this ball looks like and who's in attendance, which is definitely not a store.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's like why it's also so pointed that he wasn't invited.
Right. It's like
Yeah.
pretty much the entire like of Havishire was invited,
Yeah.
but not a store.
Right.
Yeah.
And I imagine like your mother just did that to spite you bringing up that they're a potential suitor. Like they were
Totally.
like, no, they're not. Rid it from your mind, child. I guess the question is, do you know that a store's not invited?
Ooh.
Charity.
I think no.
You don't know.
I-
Okay.
yeah,
so
I
you're,
think
you're
Charity
maybe
is-
expecting them to show up and they don't.
Yeah. Charity's pretty oblivious to most things that everyone else knows.
Okay. And then let's start our first little kind of like vignette at the ball. Who wants to kick it off?
Yeah, I think I will. I think Charity and Hilda are kind of, right at the inside greeting everyone as the hosts. So maybe everybody can kind of make their way in and say their hellos and everything.
So they're greeting people at the door,
Yeah.
kind of.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, what are they discussing? Anything as they?
I think Charity is just kind of quietly listening to, as soon as someone passes and moves away, Hilda has something to say about them, how they're dressed, who they are. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say Mortimer has just passed through, and he spent quite a lengthy amount of time kissing your hand. And as he walks away, your mother is just like, "Well, will you look at that? A proper gentleman, is he not?"
One could not call him otherwise.
And he's only been here about 5 minutes, and he's already had so many nice things to say about the floral arrangements.
Yes, Mother. What kind of occupation is being a a horticulturalist, though.
Oh, I believe it's something to do with plants. As he seems quite fascinated with them, I
Yes.
hope it's to do with plants.
I mean, can't be much, you know, room to advance in such a profession.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it could be that he only has the means to procure such sorry, this is me fucking up, not. It could be that he has the means to procure such an occupation because he has such an extensive wealth that he is sitting on from his family's estate. You know, people can only take careers up like that if they have some other cushion available to them.
You've certainly given that more thought than I had.
Well, I think you should think on Mortimer quite a bit more.
Oh, I'm certainly thinking about him.
And she kind of like, you know, squints at you a little bit and is like, I'm sensing a little bit of emotion in your tone.
Never. Not in public, Mother.
Well, best keep it that way. And then who else walks through the door, do you think?
Oh, I think the happy couple.
Felicity and Abigail.
Yes.
I love them.
Yes.
And I
Our
think
good couple.
are good lesbians.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
And then, you know, you'll both curtsy to them and make a proper greeting, and then they'll walk off and be like, and then she'll be like, I heard the rumors of them coming into money were unfounded. I wonder if they started them themselves just to seem higher up in the society. Can you imagine?
No, Mother. And Charity's kind of like looking kind of around whoever's passing by.
Oh, you're in
And
search
then-
of someone, my dear. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Jack.
I mean, I probably need to spend a result token, I'm guessing. I don't even have one. But I think Namdi would arrive. He already made it canon that he likes to be on time or early.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think you need to spend a resolve.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
You can walk
See,
through.
I think-
Let me
yeah.
do this one moment really quick because I want to play into this like searching moment, and then I'll cue you in. Okay. But she goes, "Are you looking for someone, my dear?"
Are you sure everyone received their invitations, Mother?
Everyone who is meant to be invited received their invitation. Yes.
Charity looks over at Hilda.
She like out of the corner of her eye is just like curtsies to someone else who comes in.
Well, of course it is busy time of year. So many
Yes,
events.
I'm sure some people are quite involved in their own personal matters. We can't expect everyone to accept every invitation that we send out.
And then I think Pandolf comes up right before
Okay.
Namdi does.
Oh, Pandolf, darling. And she curtsies like, you know, deeper than she has before, and immediately puts her hand out for him to kiss all over. And you know, he says some sweet nothings to her, and then kind of passes into the ball, and she goes, "Speaking of proper gentlemen, there goes one just now."
Oh, yes, of course, Mr. Pandolf. I wonder if he'll want to make any amendments to the bet we have. He does seem to be fond of gambling. Did you know?
Bet? You're betting? So improper. Don't speak so loudly about it in our own event.
It's just a friendly wager, Mother.
What is the wager?
Oh, who in Habsha will be married next?
Well, you certainly.
That is, you know, it didn't seem right to put my own name forth because I would have control over whether or not I was. It wouldn't be fair.
Exactly. If you're going to gamble, at least make sure you can win.
Oh, look, it's Mr. Abara.
And we do see Namdi walk up. What is Namdi dressed dressed like?
I googled all of this stuff, so I knew the names for them. I think right now he's wearing like a light grayish waistcoat
Mm-hmm.
with a white cravat, which is something I learned just a few seconds ago. And like white as starched linen. He's wearing also, I think he's very brave, I feel like, at this point. He's wearing white pantaloons, so white pants, with black leather, they call it slippers, but leather shoes and short gloves, short white gloves, and has a little hat again held under his arm at the once he walked into, is this outside or indoors?
It's inside, but there's
Inside.
like big glass doors that open up into the garden.
Okay,
But you're
then
coming
yeah,
into entry through the house, right?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he would have had taken his hat off because I believe that's proper manners when you're indoors. But yeah, he arrives, gives Hilda a little bow and a polite smile and says, "Miss Foxgrove,"
It's
and takes her hand.
it's so lovely to see you, Mr. Ibarra.
It's a pleasure seeing you too, Miss Foxgrove.
Uh, I
Miss,
I don't know if you've officially I don't know if you've seen Mr. Ibarra a spot on my dance card. And she like holds it out. Yeah, they're like worn around the wrist, like
oh,
yeah.
You literally
this is-
sign them, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I do to
If you agree to a dance, then you would fill your name out on the card.
Okay, in that case, I think you see like a very, at least for me, for Charity, a very clear moment of hesitation before he goes to write his name down. I will gladly dance with you, Miss Foxgrove.
Well,
Miss, Mom, it's a pleasure seeing you too. I'm sorry.
So good to see you, Namdi.
And Andy will take her hand and give us a kiss as well.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Thank
very
you
sorry.
so
I
much
was.
for joining us this evening.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very much looking forward to the events you're going to hold. I've heard many things about the events you hold here, and I know that today's going to be just as delightful as the others.
Thank you. We always go all out with the decorations, and you can be rest assured that there are many very handsome and astonishing people in attendance.
I can see that. I'll see you. And he walks off.
And as soon as you turn around, Hilda's smile just drops, and she looks over to Charity and is like, "What was with that hesitation?"
perhaps he thought I was being forward.
Forward? Is it not proper to ask for a dance at a dance?
I don't know, Mother.
What could be the meaning of this? Have you done something to cross him?
No. Perhaps he, I don't know, felt put on the spot.
Well, I don't know why you come to a ball and then get put off when someone asks you to dance. I will have to ask him the meaning of it.
Perfect. Perfect. The Lees are here.
They'll curtsy to you, and Theo, you walk through the door.
Yeah. I'm probably at the family grouping. It's probably like Dad, Beatrice, me behind them.
Okay, yeah, it's pretending you don't exist.
Yes.
Mhm.
I think Theo is dressed fairly, not super ostentiously for this, surprisingly so. I think like a little more elegant and understated than perhaps the theme or like the their general dress is usually like. That probably sticks out a bit. And will certainly, do the proper curtsies. Knows enough to like what the Foxgrove matriarch is like.
Yeah.
To be like, we're not gonna poke the hornet's nest
Yeah.
right now. And so it'd be a curtsy. It's like, Miss Foxgrove, nice to see you.
Theo.
Your mom like shoots daggers at you for not only doing a first name but doing a nickname. As a guest arrives at the ball and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and it'd be like, it's quite a lovely dress you have there, Miss Charity.
Hilda's about to collapse.
Yes, well, I believe the theme was made apparent in the invitation. And I believe in going after what you want. What you want to be, I mean.
No, of course. Well, I took a bit more of the, let's say, the Greco inspiration from it. Of course, I thought the theme was up to interpretation, but I like yours.
Do enjoy yourself.
Of course.
And you walk off, and then Hilda's her head snaps over to her daughter and is like, "What is the meaning of this? You have conflict with everyone who is invited to this ball."
She slighted me.
You called them Theo upon arriving to a formal event, and then mocked her attire, albeit it is very understated when I clearly said on the invitation that there was a theme and an expectation. But to say it to their face is another thing entirely. I don't know what is the matter with you, but you need to get it together.
Perhaps I've had too much of the fairy punch.
We've barely started.
Mother, perhaps I need to just get my head on straight. Perhaps I could be excused from greeting the remainder of the guests.
Yes, perhaps you could.
Get me out of here!
And then your mother stays at her station to welcome the remaining guests. Great, that was perfect. How about another vignette? What else is going on? Maybe it's a bit further into the ball and everybody's shown up and people have started to dance. What is another scene that we encountered?
I mean, I signed the dance card, which was dance card.
Yep.
Which is
Sign the card.
so yeah. I think Charity and Namdi are probably dancing and
Okay.
speaking while dancing, because that seems to be a very Jane Austen thing.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna spend a resolve token to make sure Theo is watching the whole time.
Yes, of
Perfect.
course.
Oh,
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Totally.
perfect.
Okay, you can
100%.
take that resolve token for Theo, and then I'm gonna mark one off on my sheet.
I have so many. I need to spend so many this scene.
You should. You
I'm
should.
literally at one, and I'm definitely going to spend it before the end of the session.
And I think maybe one or two people still have monologue tokens as well. Maybe.
I
Do
think
have
we
any left?
used up all
I
of
think we
ours.
all use ours.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Use those resolve tokens. So yeah, Theo, I would, if you're comfortable with it, Kiana, I just love that it's like you are just standing in the perfect spot at the perfect time when they start dancing, that it's like, and you're in the midst of like a three-way conversation that doesn't really involve you, but you can't walk away.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just like forced to either straight look at it or in your periphery, just like be very knowledgeable of
Hell
them
yeah.
dancing and like, talk, like whispering to each other about whatever.
Yeah.
That works. Okay, cool. All right, then we'll cut to Namdi and Charity beginning their dance.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Ibarra,
Miss Foxgrove.
did you receive my letter?
Yes, I did. But there was some news that I received soon after that I would like to confirm with you first before I suppose react or respond.
Certainly.
This is all happening while we're dancing.
Yeah. It's all the
yeah.
like the movement.
Yeah. I'm sure you remember, and even implied it and suggested it in the letter you sent to me of our fling a couple of years ago.
Ah, yes, when we met.
Yes, when we met. Well, I have recently learned that then, and possibly still now, I had met with someone who was in a committed relationship. I apologize for being so blunt and upfront, but I've never been the type of person to skirt around the subject.
Is there a reason you want to know?
Yes, I have tried to be the type of person who is people can describe as honorable, fair, kind. But I would not be able to accept those descriptors or titles if I were to learn that I may have met someone who was spoken for already.
So you want me to confirm or deny this rumor because you are concerned with your self-image and not for any other reason?
Not my self-image. It seems that not many people know regardless. This is more for me. I don't think I could happily live with myself knowing that I may have caused someone else strife or pain. Miss Foxgrove, you hesitate.
You do too sometimes. I suppose the only pain you've caused is right now.
Am I wrong?
For all intents and purposes, I am not engaged.
You chose very particular wording there, Miss Foxgrove. Like I said, I am not one to skirt around the subject, but I've known you long enough to know that you are very good at it.
I think that's when like the dance ends and she's and they're just standing there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I will answer your question if you will answer mine. Do you feel anything for me other than friendship? And they're just standing there.
There's people trying to like work around you to
Yeah.
to continue dancing to the next song, and they're just like, what is wrong with these two? Can I spend a resolve token for in that moment for Mortimer to show up?
Yes!
Okay.
Mortimer!
I think this would affect Charity the most.
Yeah.
Because she was waiting for an
100%.
answer from Namdi. So
Yeah.
if you want to take that resolve token,
Heck yeah.
I will remove it from. I don't know in those situations if I should remove it from. I should probably remove it from Mortimer's.
Yeah, I think that makes
That makes
sense.
sense. Yeah.
Okay. So Mortimer walks, very like straight up to you, Charity, and it's just like, and then is about to say something to you, and then kind of in that moment, realizes Namdi is standing there and is like, "Oh, Mr. Ibarra, excuse me.
No, of course.
Would you mind if I take over?"
I do not mind. I've taken enough of her time.
And then immediately turns to Charity and is like, "Do you mind if I have the stance?"
I think Charity like looks after Namdi and then just kind of sighs and smiles at Mortimer. Of course.
And he looks very delighted and, grabs your hand and begins, dancing you around the ballroom. And what do you do, Namdi?
I think Anandi takes a seat if this is the point where some people can sit, or even if he's not, just stand away from the
there are
center
places
of the
to
dance.
sit at like on the edges of the room. Yeah.
And I think he's just watching them dance, but thinking about the question she asked him.
I guess my other question is like, do you see Theo standing there, having been watching you when you remove yourself from the dance floor?
I think yes. I think he makes, as he like turns, like the moment he says Mortimer, yes, Mortimer can take Miss Foxgrove. He's taken enough of her time. He like turns and immediately like makes eye contact with Theo.
Are you okay with that, Kiana?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'll go ahead and expend a facilitator resolve. You can take it for Namdi.
Okay.
But I think what I would like to see is like you two lock eyes, and like Namdi, in that moment you realize that in all likelihood Theo was watching the two of you dance the entire time. And I don't know, maybe there's a bit of expression on Theo's face that's like blushing. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Kiana?
Like,
okay.
I think, generally speaking, Theo has absolutely no shame in whatever they do. Zero shame whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I think there is like a moment of like surprise at being like caught out for watching, and then a little bit of that like embarrassment or like shame at having been caught out for doing that that crosses her face for a moment before she like turns.
Yeah. I love that. So when you retreat after that moment of kind of recognition, Namdi, do you go to like towards Theo or to a different place to kind of like?
I am currently standing right next to my dad.
Oh okay.
Yes.
I don't know. Are you? Is your dad want to stand near you at all?
Oh, that's a good point.
I think he, with your reputation condition, I think he's
or maybe
actively
he's
trying to not be near you at this ball.
Distance.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, then I'm all by myself, I'm gonna say, because Beatrice is probably, haven't been asked for a bunch of dances because she's new, outly in society. So yeah, Beatrice just awkwardly by themselves.
Okay. So what do you do, Namdi?
I think there's a slight, like he kind of like clenched his hand a little bit as he trying to, because I think in that moment, despite how hard he tried to hide it, there was definitely a lot of emotions going on there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're caught in a moment where someone you've had relations with before was like, hey, do you have any feelings for me? And immediately interrupted and turned to the person that you're now scheming to be engaged with and spend the rest of your life with, and found that they were, to some degree, perceiving that moment the entire time. So yeah, I understand if you're a bit confused.
So I think he just tries to collect himself, but I think right now with he's not going to walk towards Theo. He's going to go to the other side, of probably even the exact opposite side, away, as far away from Theo as possible right now.
Okay. So right next to her father. Got it.
Somewhere else. That's not where.
Okay, yeah, just kidding.
But yeah, I think it goes off and it honestly is like almost goes into autopilot where like if anyone acknowledges him, he acknowledges them back, but then immediately goes back into his head thinking about that question and trying to understand where his head and heart is at. But yeah, nothing substantial right now.
Okay. And then we'll cut back to Charity and Mortimer on the dance floor, and Mortimer's like prattling away and is like, you know, Charity, I just no, he would have said Miss Foxgrove, I just inquired to your mother about your availability for engagement.
Oh!
And she said you were quite available. Which, you know, was very enticing information as to me. As you know, probably from the letters that I've sent, that I'm quite interested in seeking your hand.
Yes, you have made that clear, and I appreciate. I think we're dancing by Namdi.
Yeah.
And I always appreciate clarity and decisiveness.
Oh, you dance by Namdi?
Yes.
When you say that? Throw those words out at Namdi.
Yes, the curls are everywhere.
Yes, I love it. Yes. And he looks a bit confused by that, by your like your inflection. And he looks a bit confused, but then he decides to take it as excitement. He just decides.
Yes.
And is just like, and by your accent and your behavior, I could assume that you are also excited by such potential propositions.
I am excited to discuss it further at perhaps a more private time, just to you, me, and my mother.
Oh, well, yes, but I've already gotten your mother's approval, so really I only need yours.
Yes, but in such a public place, one could not properly express their feelings.
Well, no better place. I mean, think of the memory we will have of our engagement, surrounded by so many of our dearest friends and such gorgeous decorations and floral arrangements. It will live like a dream in our minds for the rest of our days.
Can I spend a result? Do I hear this, or can I spend a result token to hear? I want to be like close enough to hear all of.
Say it again.
Yeah. Can I be close enough to hear all of this?
Yeah, you can use a resolve token to hear if you'd like.
Okay.
I'll give it to Mortimer.
Yes. No. Yes.
Yes. No.
Yes.
I'm not coming in to help. I'm just listening. I think when you yell to get Namdi's attention, he hears that and like listens in a bit longer and hears the plans of engagement from between you and Mortimer.
There are no plans.
But he only heard enough for that, and I think the moment he hears that, he looks to Theodosia, because I don't think Theodosia didn't explicitly say who Miss Foxgrove was with. So yeah, so
she did not.
Yes, I think Namdi's under the assumption that it's actually Mortimer, and just in that moment decides it doesn't matter what my feelings are. She's spoken for. And he just turns and walks away from the dance floor towards the foods.
You fool!
Make it worse, Namdi. Yes. Oh my goodness. And I think we'll leave that scene there where you're kind of resisting, right?
Yeah.
Where Mortimer's like, but I could propose right now. And you're like, or you couldn't.
I could do it right now.
Here's an idea.
Maybe, I don't know if I would need a result token for this, but I feel like Anastasia and Charity dance next. So maybe she saves me.
Well, I want to, we're running out of time.
Yeah,
so I just want to make sure we get a scene.
No, I don't need to do a scene of that. I just, like, narratively.
Okay, yes, maybe we can say that Anastasia cuts in,
Yeah.
seeing sort of like your countenance of distress. Yeah, you don't need to spend a resolve token for that. I like that.
Excellent.
So she does interrupt, and it's almost like in the very moment that Mortimer was gonna like pull out the ring, she was like, "And excuse me."
I'm next on the
Pardon me.
dance card.
If you will note, I am on the dance card right there, and you've had quite a few already, so be off.
Yeah.
And he
Irene
looks-
just
he
wants
looks
to
at you
romance
and-
herself. This
Yeah,
is
I
what is
do.
really
I'm
coming
very
out to
attracted to myself. What can I say?
I
As
mean,
you
we
should
love
be.
to see it.
As you
would
should
be.
be.
But yeah, do you have an idea for Theodosia?
I
Kiana?
absolutely do.
Okay.
So after this kind of moment of like embarrassment, which is a rare feeling for Theo at any given point.
Shame. What is that?
yeah.
I don't know her.
I think she decides that she wants to go outside for like some fresh air or whatever.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend a resolve token that Theo comes across a private conversation between her father and Pandulf, who were, having some conversations about, a certain someone who is also at this ball, who neither of them like.
Okay.
So we don't have to play out the conversation because I know you have to.
Well,
to
and
talk.
also I just want you to be able to be in a scene.
Yeah.
But I spend that resolve token.
Yeah, so I'm spending a resolve token so that I can learn
Yes.
that there are some indication that they may or may not want to do something bad.
They think they've gone to like a private corner of the garden where their conversation will not be overheard, and you've gone out to get some air at the wrong or right time, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
And they're not speaking like plainly, right?
Yeah.
But you can definitely gather the idea is that they are trying to squash the rumor of your engagement to Namdi, and it doesn't seem like there's any limits on how they might go about it.
Yeah. Okay. So
Perfect. Okay,
I will
so with
give
that
the resolve
information-
token to my dad.
You said what?
Give that resolve token to
Okay.
Pablo because he's the one that wants this.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as Theo hears that, it's just going to very quickly back out, head right back into the ballroom, probably walking a bit faster than
Mhm.
you're supposed to, and just beelining for Namdi.
Okay, great. I love this. Yes. Okay. We might skip the epistolary phase because I really want to see this. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
Just for time's sake. But yeah, so Namdi, you perceive, are you still kind of like hanging on the outskirts of the ball? We'll assume that a bit of time has passed. Maybe dinner has come and gone.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I think I'd be on the outskirts. I'd probably be like, at the very least, thinking about leaving. I think my experience with this ball has been a bit soured
Yeah.
by everything. So I think you might even catch me like saying my goodbyes to some of the people some people I've been speaking to throughout the day.
Yeah. I think at that point, if you're starting to leave, Theo's like, "Oh, are you heading out?"
Yes, I was thinking about it. I know the ball hasn't even neared its halfway point, but
Right. No. Would you mind if I accompanied you? I think I am a little overwhelmed by this party.
yes, of course, Miss Lee. I think like there's a bit of a hesitation, but I think he's playing into the rumors that are spreading now. He kind of like extends on like an elbow for her to put the arm through.
Yeah. And she'll probably look around and like shoot a glance to Beatrice, be like, "I'm leaving right now."
Beatrice is like, "I've got you covered."
Yeah. Like, I'm not getting kidnapped. I'm see you back home.
She winks.
Yeah.
And I assume y'all are kind of like heading like out front, like leaving out the front door.
Yeah.
Which is still like pretty vacant. Like
Camera. No.
everyone froze?
No, you just froze.
Yeah.
Everyone's frozen for me.
Oh no, Vanna.
Oh no.
What's it mean?
Oh, you're back.
Okay, you're back.
Okay.
You're back.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what that was.
That was okay.
As the sound of the music fades from the ball, the two of you walk out the front, and you're kind of like on the drive. Are you waiting for a carriage, or are you just walking off, or?
Oh, I think I was planning on walking. Just
Yeah, Theo will walk too. I think it's
I
kind of
quite
like
enjoy walking.
Okay. Then I turned on some. I don't know if you can hear them more.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Night sounds.
nighttime sound.
And yeah, y'all are quite alone because, as Drax said, the ball's not even like, maybe it's like near halfway over. The candles are only at their 3-hour mark. And so you don't really catch anyone in the foyer. There's servants in the drive that ask you if they need to call a carriage for you. You brush them off, and now the two of you are kind of walking down the gravel drive and off into the night.
I think once I feel fairly certain that no one's watching, he'll untangle his arm
Yeah.
from Miss Lee's. Not like, oh, gross, but it's kind of like, we don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Miss Lee, you seemed rather. Is something wrong?
Right. My apologies for tagging on to your departure. I thought it was best if we had another conversation right now.
Okay, are you here to give me another one of your special warnings?
I'm perhaps you could call it that. I'll be quite honest, Mr. Ibarra, when you first mentioned that my family may have been involved in the very unfortunate tragedy of your father's death.
I think that just died on stream.
I'm so sorry.
It's
I didn't know my
okay.
mic was open.
It's so funny. It's okay. A
It's
dog
cute.
barks.
So caught up in the moment. I was like, you talked about the murder, and then what? Did Pandolf just jump out and bite your jugular? What just happened? I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I'll have to say, I really didn't quite believe, that my family could be involved in the incidents and the such. But
the incident. It was Miss Lee. It was murder.
Well, I am certainly more inclined to believe you now. While I was taking a short walk outside, I stumbled across my father speaking with Mr. Pandolf. And I didn't catch much of the conversation as I was, hidden behind hedges. But there was a mention of a favor that my father performed for Mr. Pandolf, and mentioned that my father did not approve of this pretense.
Yes.
And I thought that was, quite limited to me being isolated from my own family, basically. But it does seem that they may be more willing to take more drastic measures towards you, Mr. Ibarra.
Okay. I think there's a pause as he processes this. And then there's a slight smile that spreads across his face. So they're plotting to kill me, like Pandolf killed my father.
I'm not quite sure about the extent of where they are willing to go. But if what you say is true about Pandolf's hand in murdering your father and my own father's role in that,
I think we should go ahead with this pretense. Make it seem as realistic as possible.
are you sure?
Yes, yes.
Even after being told that they may have plans for drastic measures?
Especially because after being told that they have plans of drastic measures. I think this would be the perfect chance for Pandolf to answer to his crimes. And I'll have the pleasure of being the answer.
Mr. Barr, you and I have never had the best of relationships at the best of times. But I would not want to put you in a dangerous situation because of a idea that I had or a scheme to and that involved you, even if it's beneficial for the both of us.
I assure you, I'm only doing this for my father. Not because you suggested this or even really gave me the idea. I have been trying to find any means to bring Pandolf, the murderer of my father, to justice, and this seems to be the one that has opened up. So I'm merely taking it.
Ah, right. Of course. Mutually beneficial business arrangement.
Exactly.
Well, perhaps, Mr. Barr, if you would like to escort me home, I can point you to some places of interest for you.
Well then, and he's going to again extend out his arm for her to put hers through and escort her home.
Amazing. Okay, so Lauren is wanting to use a resolve token for Pandolf to have followed the two of you.
Oh boy!
Yes, that is
Yeah.
so good. Yes.
So, Lauren, how many resolve tokens do you have?
3.
Okay, because I feel like you should offer them each one.
I'm totally down.
I think it's a major impact to both characters.
Totally.
And then Kiana and Drac, you can set the terms if you want to, or just accept it or reject it. So
No,
what do you
I
think?
absolutely accept it.
Yeah,
That
I
is really
totally
good.
totally followed my. Yeah, I'm trying to think of whether I want him to know that we know, or if it's just they keep on being together.
I think I kind of want it to be like he doesn't know that they know. I think he's just following us because he fully thinks that this is like a real commitment and this seems like the best chance.
And my
job.
goal is for him to like have something on y'all now because you're alone together.
Yeah,
alone together.
You're alone at night.
Yeah.
And there's a rumor about your engagement, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I'm going to the Lee household with them. So
Yeah,
I'm going
it's
to
a bad look.
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. So if you could give up 2 resolve tokens and each of you get 1.
Yep.
And then I think the final scene is just like the camera's pulling back from behind the 2 of you, and as you're disappearing into the distance, it's like you almost disappear in the darkness. Like the moon and the stars are kind of lighting you vaguely as you walk down the road, but as you almost disappear as we pull back and we get an over shoulder view, and it like a familiar sort of like almost comb over haircut, like wisp in the moonlight, and a bit of a head tilt as Pandolf checks behind him, and we get a full understanding of his profile and exactly who it is, and that very familiar sort of vicious smirk on his face. And that's where we'll end that chapter. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And we're gonna skip the epistolary phase this time, just for time's sake, but let's just really quick do our reputation phase. Does anybody feel like they've gained any reputation tags, either positive or negative?
I think I might have gotten another positive one.
Yeah.
With
or 4.
For, let me find the exact thing, but for the thing with Mortimer, oh, where is it? There it is. Denied. I think it was acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, you didn't. I don't know. You didn't say like yes to Mortimer.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't
That's
know if
true.
you got a positive tag just for dancing with someone.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It might be neutral. I was more thinking of like not straight up telling Namdi that she loves him.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, that's a tricky one. I'll let you decide.
Yeah. I'll think about it because I'm also good with like neutral.
The other issue is that like, so the tags are how other people perceive you. So is it something happened that on a very private level or internally? Like society can't perceive that about you, right?
True. Yeah. Okay, then I think
you
neutral.
wouldn't have a reputation from keeping a secret, right? Because no one knows your secret.
Yeah. Okay. That
So,
makes sense.
I think you stay the same.
Cool.
Okay. Drag?
I kind of think, I don't know. I think I already got a negative for that, but maybe I did in this part as well. Acted on desire in a way that compromised my due to morality. That we're leaning into this, or have already done that.
Your morality seems very focused on getting like your desire is for revenge. So
yeah,
I think that's all in. It's all in line with your character, so I don't think it's anything too out of the ordinary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've been neutral then. I don't think I cover any of this.
Okay. Kiana?
I think I got a positive token because for basically circumventing my own desires to go and act out of duty or morality to warn Namdi what I overheard.
Wait, that's a positive tag?
Because what I did is I was about to give up. Like, we don't have to do this scheme anymore because I don't want to put you in any danger. I acted in that sense of like,
oh yeah,
out of
selflessness.
Which
I like that. What positive tag will you incur?
I'm not sure if any of these on the list really work.
That's okay. I mean, you could put like selfless or empathetic or.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Selfless is a big jump for Lucio. Yeah, because
considerate.
Yeah, maybe considerate.
Thoughtful,
yeah, because we also saw that with Beatrice.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Just stay out of it. You know, and it'll be fine. Yeah. Okay, I like that a lot. Perfect. And that's our reputation phase. And then upkeep, everybody just refill your monologue tokens, and everyone add 1 resolve token to their major characters.
Sweet.
And that will end our session for today.
Yay.
We missed a couple letters, but I think it was worth the juice of the novel chapter phase. So
Yes.
it's a really great
Oh,
chapter.
boy.
God, we just so
It's
much.
gonna come back to just a dumpster fire.
Yeah, Cole. It's like, hey, Cole. Surprise Namdi and Theo are in a fake
Everyone's in love with
relationship.
everyone, and yeah.
Mortal danger might be happening.
Definitely happening.
Yeah.
I can't wait till a duel happens and Theodosia throws themselves in the way of the bullet
God.
and dies in
Yeah.
Namdi's arms, and Namdi only in that moment sees that he loves Theodosia, and
It's the fake lovers to
Yeah.
question mark pipeline.
When you suggested that, I was like,
It's
I have
classic
to. I can't-
rom-com.
I
You
can't
gotta
say
do
no
it.
to that. Yeah.
you gotta do it. Oh my god, I love it. Well, yeah. Do we want to go around and everybody plug their stuff in their thing?
Yeah.
Outro time. Vanna, you kick us off.
Okay, I'm Vanna. You can find me streaming full-time at twitch.tv/Vanna. That's VANA. I do video games over there. I also have produced 2 tabletop shows over there. Draxon one, it's called From Dusk Till Dark. It's a 5e D&D Rime of the Frost main actual play. And then I do another monthly show called Pull Up a Sheet, which is specifically about introducing new people to the hobby just like by providing a safe table and easily to access systems and things like that. So check out that. And I think that's me. Follow me on Twitter. Havanarama is my Twitter. So it's me.
Awesome. Drac, you're up.
Hi, I'm Draconics, or Drac for short. I'm one of the co-founders and the event organizer of Friends Roll Dice. I also stream all over the place. Like Vanna said, I'm over on Vanna channel on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Not 9 p.m. Eastern. Sorry,
3 p.m.
Look at the wrong one.
Eastern.
3 p.m. Eastern. With From Dusk Till Dark on Tuesdays. On Mondays, I'm over on D&D channel with Roll20. At 4 p.m. Eastern with a Candle Keep Mysteries campaign. On Wednesdays at 5:30 Eastern, I'm over on Play Multiverse with another D&D campaign called The Shepherd Trials. And every 3rd Sunday of the month, you can hear my voice in an actual play podcast called Super Idols RPG. I think that's it for now. There are some other things coming up in the pipeline, so just keep an eye out. You can follow me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES for all the details about that. But that's it. That's pretty much it for me.
Awesome. Kiana.
Yeah. You can find me over on Twitter at Kiana S. Best way to figure out I'm doing it when I'm not here on the channel. Mostly just here though. We're just vibing. We've got stuff coming up in the channel that we'll talk about shortly after outros and all that stuff. But yeah, just follow me on Twitter. It's just easier that way, all that good stuff. What about you, Lauren?
I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter, the salty half of this channel. You can catch me here. And Saturday, starting at the end of August, 9 a.m. Pacific, I run our long-running Pulp Cthulhu campaign, Masks of Nyarlathotep. We have a new player joining us, bringing in a brand new character as we head to Australia in the latter half of our campaign. Tomorrow at some time, I don't know, I'll post it on Twitter. I'm playing a pirate captain over with Black Cats Gaming. Follow Black Cats, I think, on Twitch. Pirates and Eldritch Horror, which is very much my deal. Otherwise, check out Missing Annie Lee. The full thing is up. It is the best. It is a Fear Itself actual play podcast told in 2 parts by 2 different GMs and some recurring characters. If you like things like Twin Peaks or like It, you will love this series. I highly recommend it. What else do we have to say, Key?
well, we've got a closing stuff. So again, thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors and affiliates. So that's Roll20, that's Dice Envy, that's Grinding Coffee Co. We love them, we appreciate them, and all the support for the channel. If you like what you saw here, if you ever want to rewatch a juicy drama that's happening over here, whether in the series or in other stuff, we've got VODs over on YouTube channel. It's also Salty Sweet Games, so it's really easy to look up. And if you want to keep up with what we're doing, Twitter, again, Salty Sweet Games. We post about when we go live, whether it's with a regular TTRPG series, whether it's with impromptu video game stuff, or whether it's with cool announcements. Like Lauren said, we are coming back with our Max and I Last Step campaign really soon. I think
Maybe the
literally-
21st.
Yeah, on the 21st. So we're very excited to be back with that because we've taken about a month off hiatus. So please come hang out with us over there. It's also very dramatic, but with eldritch horror in there as well. So it's super cool. Again, thank you to everyone who hung out with us today, who screamed with us when things
Yes.
happened. And all the gift subs and all that stuff. We greatly appreciate it. It just, again, all your support is what keeps the lights on over here. So, again, please go check out Friends Who Roll Dice. They are our co-producers for this series. So, they're really cool too. Just saying. Just saying. That's about it
We
from us.
are going to go and raid Bran. I think he's live. My
Yeah.
fellow Washingtonian and
Yeah.
such. So we're going to go give him some love and hype from us here at Salty Sweet Games. So get ready. Otherwise, we will see you in 2 weeks for the finale of Good Society. Wave bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.